Check. Check. Check, Mike. Check. Mike check. All right. Instagram is firing, but does the microphone work? Hit that like, everybody, before we get started. Oh, yes. Okay, hold on. There it is. There you rat. Okay, I'm not starting in an hour. Don't worry. Hold on. No. I don't know why that thing starts over. It's very weird. All right. Almost there. Oh. Lights aren't on. Waiting for stuff to wake up. 3, 2 minutes. Come on. And Shazam. Nope. And pow. Nope. Come on, baby. All right, here we go. 3, 2, maybe 1. Really? Are my buttons just gonna be jerks today? That's fine. That's fine. I don't need it. I don't have to. I don't need my buttons to work. Some people do. Not me. I can do this manually, like the dude. Never mind. I was about to make a Lebowski reference that only a few people will understand. In reference to virtual. Never mind. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Sound is on. All's well. You can hear me. Excellent. Fantastic. All right, Aaron. Well, I'll take your word for it. That's what Tar Pits is tight. That is true. It is a little chilly for whatever it's worth. My buttons are loose now. I think actually now they work. Yeah. So I had to reopen. I had to close and reopen this. You don't need to know this. Who cares? Who cares? It's what? It's MM Walsh's birthday today? No. Swallow gave the time of impeachment death. That's funny. Yeah, it was pretty lame today. We'll cover some of that stuff. AOC was terrific. I watched a good portion of this. I think the most important thing that you need to know, and I think the biggest takeaway of all time, was that poor Lev Parnas was just, for whatever reason, I mean, he was just brought in there to waste his goddamn time, poor guy. Because, honest to God, there was nothing about this dude, like, being there that, it was just a waste of fucking time. It was aggravating. I felt bad for him, because it just was not necessary.
I now recognize Mr.
Oh, shut up. China money. China money. China money. That, most of it focused on Blah-Linski, some on the dude who was in prison for bilking native tribes out of money. Again, another classy Republican witness. I'll bring this light off. There we go. Now we have that's just a little better looking, I think. And before we get started, hit that like, and if you haven't subscribed, do it. You must. I'm kidding. You don't actually have to, but if you did, it'd be kind of cool. I'm just saying, maybe that would be kind of cool if you just hit the like right now. Hold on. I'm going to turn on a source visibility. No, I don't want a source visibility. Delete. I want a filter that I can turn on, which is in this, and this source will be, yes, it's on this guy, and then the filter is this guy, and then at any time I want to, let's see if it works. I have got the glow. When you got the glow, you need the glow. You got the glow. You need the glow. You got the glow. You need to grow. To go to the upper level. All right, sorry. So I just might need it for later. I'm just saying. To reach that upper level, your mind, body, and soul must be one. It's a sacrifice. It takes hard work. It's a way of life. All right. The people who don't know anything about The Last Dragon are so fucking confused right now. But everybody who knows it is like, I love you even more. I'm the master. So, which should be abundantly clear. Where after dipshit over here is trying to convince everyone that he's the master. No. Bruce Leroy is the master, and I'd come in a close second. I'm just saying. Timac till the end. Just saying. So this is on the Blaze. They put this clip up, and they said Tony Blah-Linski goes nuclear on Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Jamie Raskin, and Dan Goldman. An explosive opening statement, which I gotta say is like it's like bragging about a dude with a tiny little waiter that he can't get an erection with, wagging it at people going, take it. And you're like, I don't know, are we supposed to be afraid? Because this is kind of hilarious. It's a little embarrassing, and yet hilarious, and yet a little sad, perhaps. But this is him. This is his opening statement of Tony, the blah blah Blah-Linski.
Blah-Linski for his opening statement.
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for inviting me. I tried to look as much like a high school football coach who's been found guilty of having bad things on his hard drive as I possibly can. And over my shoulder, my right shoulder, I brought a teenager who is not interested in the proceedings, who will, during this entire thing, try to look as bored and as teen-like as possible. On the left is my mob lawyer. My left, not your left.
Should I allow Hunter to give his opening statement first?
We'll
Hardy har har. Because the whole purpose of him coming there was that he was going to confront him. Basically, for those who don't know, Hunter Biden got into business with Blah-Linski via Devin Archer, and soon realized the guy was a complete creep and full of shit, and just basically was a con man, and would sell his access and like who he was close to, probably his old employer as well, to people to like prove he should be in on business deals. And then when they realized this and they kicked him to the curb because he was full of shit, he got all mad. He's basically butthurt about his deal going south. That's what this is.
Doesn't appear Mr. Biden showed up for his public hearing, so we'll recognize you, Mr. Blah-Linski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, ranking members, and members of Congress, good morning. Thank you.
Good evening and good day.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you and present my truthful testimony to the American people. I sit here today under oath for one reason and one reason only. The American people deserve to hear the truth. Though the truth involving the deep corruption of the Biden.
They deserve to hear the truth. But in terms of receiving truthful evidence in a material form that can be referenced to actually show crimes, you're shit out of luck. I'm sorry, you're fucked. I don't have any of that. But I can sit here and tell my truth, my lived experience as a jilted lover on a business level.
Biden family, including the malfeasance of the sitting president of the United States.
Malfeasance. He was the mal and then he had the feasance.
Might be raw and unpleasant. The American people must hear it.
I can't take it. I don't know if I have the strength. I'm fine.
You're presented here today with two narratives in this investigation.
Right. One that has material backup to it, either by showing that there is no material evidence at all that has been brought up, and one where you just can basically say whatever the fuck you want because you're never going to supply them with the material evidence that you have for fear that they will discover the evidence past the evidence you want to show, which is the rest of your text messages, the rest of your WhatsApp messages that show that you're a flim-flam dickhead.
A false one being pushed by Joe Biden, a serial liar and fabulous, now under this impeachment.
Fabulous. Uh-oh, somebody's fabulous.
Investigation for public corruption. His brother, Jim Biden, a 75-year-old man who can't keep his lies straight, including under oath, and his son, Hunter Biden, a chronic drug addict facing 2 indictments with 12 counts.
Yeah, but for tax stuff, none of it involving drugs, because much to the chagrin of the Republicans, even though Hunter Biden admits to using drugs and being an addict, I don't know if you know this, but a picture of crack is not evidence. It's a picture of a white substance. Perhaps it could be crack. It could also be a baby laxative. And since there's no material evidence therein, it doesn't go into court because, holy shit, can you imagine the terrible situation we would all be in if you didn't, like, Your Honor, we don't have the smoking gun, but I drew a picture. Like, fuck me.
You also have before you the truth, confirmed by multiple Biden
I doodled the evidence, Your Honor.
family business partners over many years and backed up.
Throw the book at him. And if you don't have a book, I can draw you one. Sorry. I could download a PNG of a book that you could print out and perhaps turn into a paper airplane and then fly it at his face.
By mountains of irrefutable evidence, including text messages, emails.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Pictures of text messages from a phone you won't give anyone access to. But, you know, evidence.
Documents, recordings. I am the only Biden family business partner with an impeccable military record.
Well, it's curious to me, and I got to say, that you have a very similar military history to Scott Ritter. It's almost like the Russians targeted people in your particular strata for quite some time. Weird.
I'm grateful that this country has given me the freedom to be successful. I work.
Which country are you talking about now? China or Russia? Because it seems to be where you were trying to find money for. So,
It's hard to become independently wealthy. I've taken several businesses public, sold multiple businesses
and had multiple ones very, very private.
to some of the world's best private equity firms. In fact, my business success is why they sought me out.
They didn't seek you out. You sought them out. No one refutes that either.
However, what they have done is repugnant to me. I am here today because I'm a patriot and I'm a truth teller.
That's why I brought the CEFC deal to the Bidens and to Devin Archer and everyone, and why I and my partner, Gilliam or whatever his name is, insisted that I get 3 votes over everyone else because I did more of the work that I didn't actually do.
We keep hearing from certain corners that our democracy is at risk and democracy is on the ballot in 24.
Right.
Yet the same people preaching this mantra know better. They continue to lie directly to the American people without hesitation and remorse.
Okay. You mean these guys, right? These.
Rep. Dan Goldman and Jamie Raskin, both lawyers, and Mr. Goldman, a former prosecutor with the SDNY from New York, will continue to lie today in this hearing and then go straight to the media to tell more lies.
Wow, just calling them straight up fucking liars. I got news for you. I will say that everything that they're mentioning, they bring in, sometimes they'll use things that are displayed, for example, but the evidence itself has to be entered into the record. Unlike your fucking snapshots of your old BlackBerry that you won't let the FBI look at because I don't want them to see everything. I just want them to see the select messages that I use to control the narrative and lie.
Hunter Biden
That I managed, that the Russians taught me how to take some messages, take a picture of them like that, make a little Photoshop document, use the phone that's on the thing, take a picture of that, and then put that on the screen and take a picture of that, and then suddenly you have a conversation that never happened.
defense attorney Abby Lowell weaponizes letters to Congress to try to smear my name.
Weaponizes letters to Congress. How? He writes letters to Congress and then they either have to recognize the legal worth of them or they don't? What kind of weaponizing are we talking about? Like I'm a big, you guys know, I'm a big fan of overusing stupid fucking words to discuss topics and areas of interest that they have nothing to do with, like fighting in terms of Congress. Same thing with weaponization. Boy, is that fucking word jumped the shark.
Mr. Chairman. The cold hard facts.
Mr. Chairman.
In an attempt to save his powerfully connected client and his father. I challenge Mr. Lowell to make those claims on national television so he can be held accountable for his lies.
Also, what do you think? People can't read? He writes them to the committee or whatever, and then they're made public. These are public filings. What do you mean accountable? Accountable for what?
Prior to my successful business.
By the way, that's another word that is way overused these days. It has lost almost all meaning. We have to hold these people accountable. What the fuck are you talking about? To account for what? You have to prove they have something to account for, that they're getting away with something before you actually talk about, bringing them to justice.
This career, I was an officer in the United States Navy at Navy's elite naval
Hey, just like Steve Bannon. And he went to jail until he was pardoned by Trump.
Nuclear Power Training Command. I later served as the command's chief technology officer.
They're talking about the rules, by the way, because he disparaged members of the committee.
Please proceed. I apologize for the disruption from the.
Okay. Am I supposed to say it's my time, Mr. Raskin?
Yeah. But please, Mr. Blah-Linski, please.
Okay.
Just being a douchebag. He does it a couple of times, like he's just being a dick.
Come to order. Mr. Blah-Linski, Mr. Blah-Linski, please proceed.
Okay.
Please
What? Sorry, there was a squirrel.
proceed. I apologize for the disruption from the minority.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Chairman, it save his time, but he called members of this committee liars, and I just want to know whether the order and decorum requirements of House Rule 11 apply to witnesses appearing before the committee.
All right.
Does it apply or does it not?
And by the way, when Democrats run things, normally it does. And they'll strike when someone says something like that from the record. The Republicans lead this committee and are in charge, so of course not. Of course, they're going to bring witnesses who can shit talk everybody. They're not going to bring any. If it was a Democratic witness, they would probably shut them down well before. Or I mean, I don't even know how the fuck you like Marjorie Taylor Greene's so gross. I don't know how you even step past that line, but that's what they mean. It won't be. It's not. It's okay for witnesses to shit talk everybody. Because of free speech.
Should I address? I don't.
Even though it's about decorum, you can find nicer ways of saying it.
Huh.
The rules we worked out is that our witnesses can shit talk everyone. Democratic witnesses will be closed down by points of order that you'll allow, and every other point of order you'll just kind of ignore or drag out or blow off if it's on the Democratic side, and we'll just let that happen. That's it. Rose has a Dan Goldman crush in our chat room.
There's there's decorum from the members. We've asked for that. There's no language that I'm aware of pertaining to a witness.
Thank you.
Yes, the witnesses have the privilege to be douchebags. Please continue.
Please
continue to talk like you're not in polite company, you fucking morons.
don't make sure we didn't waste any of his time on the opening statement. Mr. Blah-Linski, I'm sorry for the disruption. Please continue your opening statement.
I think you, Mr. Raskin, used.
We'll make sure it's right. We'll
Oh,
make sure.
okay, great. I just want to restate, make sure the American people hear all these facts. Abby Lowell weaponizes letters to Congress to try to smear my name and misstate the cold hard facts in an attempt to save his powerfully connected client and his father.
Again, if his client is powerfully connected, why the fuck would he need to do that? Why would he have to send an actual letter as his representative, as his lawyer, to the actual committee if he's already, I mean, if there are backroom deals going on to protect Hunter Biden, why the fuck would he need to send open letters and deal with it like a regular attorney? If he's powerfully connected, then how can Comer and Jordan escape it? Just fucking.
I challenge Mr. Lowell to make those claims on national television so he can be held accountable for his lies.
Which is the only place you can be held accountable for your lies, as I learned very painfully on I Love the 70s. I'm kidding. I didn't lie on I Love the 70s at all.
Prior to my successful business career, I was an officer for over 6 years in the United States Navy's elite Naval Nuclear Power Training Command as a decorated master training specialist.
I got to say, again, Scott Ritter, same zone, same business model, same future. like borderline Mike Flynn Q kind of strategy as far as like the Russians reaching out to these guys.
I later served as the commander's chief technology officer, where I held a Q security clearance from the Department of Energy and the NSA.
Where I was in charge of doing the updates of the browsers and making sure everyone's browser history was cleared. Now there are 37 people, and we all have Q clearance because of the room we were in. But I was on a need to know basis, and nobody thought I needed to know. What the fuck?
When I left Nuclear Power Training Command, I was the #1 ranked direct input officer.
Oh, by the way, he keeps hitting the microphone with his left hand. That's what that noise is. I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. I was like, every time he turns his page, he smacks the little microphone with the back of his hand like a dick. Watch this. I'll show you what. Oops. Hello. Let me show you what I mean. Boink.
When I left Nuclear Power Training Command, I was the #1 ranked direct.
See, and he does it multiple times. Like he doesn't even go, oh, oops, like move the mic up slightly, anything like that. What a dick.
Direct input officer in the entire command. And then I jumped into the
Oops, why
business
am I
world and
fuzzy?
public markets. While I have made a few contributions over the years
I
to
have.
Democrats, such as Representative Ro Khanna, I don't see him, but
He's not here. I gave him money. He's supposed to be here. He owes me. God damn it. Ro Khanna. I gave money to Ro Khanna. My Russian handler paid me a certain amount of money, and I was supposed to forward that to Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna then was supposed to take that money and then come out against Israel when he got an email that said, the cat is in the wood chipper. God damn it.
I hope he shows up today.
Sort of. I'm like, I mean, I don't even know is he on this committee? I'm not even sure. I just wanted to say hi, and I also owe him a check.
He sits on the Democratic side of the Oversight Committee. I'm not a political person. I can't.
I'm not a political person. I just was at the Trump's guest at the debates, and I was and Trump made me a key like a headliner at his press conference beforehand.
I come from a family with a long history of distinguished service in our nation's military, including my father, both of my grandfathers.
Right. And what are you trying to tell us? That they would be ashamed?
And my brother, all of whom were willing to sacrifice their lives for this great country. My sister serves our military vets for 2 decades at the Veterans Administration. We've lived our life as a family in service to this great country.
Great. Do you make a distinction between people who are in the Navy as like cyber officers and actual grunts on the ground? Because I think there's a difference. I appreciate everybody else. The support structure is very important. But let's be abundantly clear. Unless you stick your fucking dick in an electric socket where you work, the chances of you being killed by an adversary on the same level that like anybody who's dropped in Iraq or Afghanistan or fucking Syria or anywhere else is, it's a little thin.
I hope the American people will pay close attention to this hearing. I also hope they will understand that some members of this committee will engage in absurd attacks and efforts to try to deflect attention from the facts. And
yes, that's Comer, Jim Jordan, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz. Yeah.
I will present today by questioning my integrity and my patriotic duty.
Well, I don't know if they'll question your integrity. It's more like if you have any.
You may see me speak passionately at this hearing, but for good reason. Not only was I willing to die for this country, every single male member of my immediate family was willing to die for this country.
And Biden lost his son, Beau. And he served too. What the fuck are you talking about? And the very man you're disparaging lost his son to a cancer that was more than likely caused because of his service.
I want to be crystal clear.
That's my drag name, and you can't have it. Sorry. Hold on. Let's try to do Hi, I'm crystal clear and I'm not ready yet. Give me a second. You can't just ask me, okay, to come out of nowhere. Can't go, Crystal, do this. Like, no, I need time, okay?
From my direct
It's so fucking gonna be a character by accident now.
personal experience and what I've subsequently come to learn, it is clear to me that Joe Biden was the brand being sold by the Biden family.
Who gives a fuck? A brand is not access. Jesus Christ. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The brand is, they're like a good neighbor. But they will not insure, for example, Russian ships right now or Nord Stream 2. Yeah.
His family's foreign influence peddling operation from China to Ukraine and elsewhere sold out to foreign actors who are seeking to gain influence and access to Joe Biden and the United States government.
Okay. So let me get this straight. The problem you have with Joe Biden is that there were foreign actors outside the country trying to fuck with America, and Joe Biden sold them out. What? What the shit? What? Wait. Say that again, dumb fuck. That Joe Biden, he did what? Oh, get out of here. Quit it. Here you go.
Foreign influence peddling operation.
Hold on. His foreign influence, yeah.
Brand being sold by the Biden family. His family's foreign influence peddling operation from China to Ukraine and elsewhere sold out to foreign actors who are seeking to gain influence and access to Joe Biden and the United States government.
Okay. This, thank you, dumb fuck, for actually writing, apparently, your Freudian slip out on paper and reading it into the fucking record. Hey, asshole. Remember how I told you this asshole was butthurt because, Hunter Biden didn't want to go into business with the company he was setting up unless they started an American subsidiary, and they fucking didn't. And basically Hunter Biden and them finally just said, take a hike. And he's been pissed because he was going to make millions, if not billions of dollars over the future on this. He thought this was his way into the Belt and Road. So he really did think this. He really thought that Hunter Biden doing a deal with him and Devin Archer was his chance to work with the Belt and Road Initiative coming from China. Seriously. And it fell through. And he fucking has hated Hunter Biden ever since. And listen to this motherfucker. This guy set up, I want to play it again. This guy set these deals up, and he's been pissed ever since that Biden apparently got, that Hunter and James Biden got paid some money, but they ultimately didn't do these deals, and it fucked the people they were doing business with, Yi Jianming or whoever else, because they wouldn't follow through on their end and do a business on the up and up. And so he's pissed. Those foreign actors were his business partners. Listen.
His foreign influence peddling operation from China to Ukraine and elsewhere sold out to foreign actors who are seeking to gain influence and access to Joe Biden and the United States government.
Yeah. Sorry. Who the hell? Siri was talking to me or something. Don't say what? Stop it. Oh, is this? Hold on. This thing's listening to me again. Stop listening. All right. Two. It's like Gesundheit. So that's it. That's the whole ball game right there. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. This asshole wrote down a sentence in the record about what I think he personally, I think he misread it. I think he fucked up. But I also think that he accidentally told the truth just then. Because that's what he's mad about. Tony Blah-Linski is angry that the Bidens didn't get in bed with his business partners where this was his fucking gravy train. This was his chance. And they went, fuck this. If they don't set up a U.S. subsidiary to buy this natural gas plant, we're not doing business with these fuckers. And he was like, fuck, I made all these promises to the Chinese for the Belt and Road Initiative, and I was going to do deals in Africa and all kinds of shit. And you motherfuckers wouldn't follow through because of some stupid SEC rules. That's what he's fucking pissed about. And he just said it. Accidentally on purpose. Because again, listen again. Who did Joe Biden defraud? Who did he listen?
Foreign influence peddling operation from China to Ukraine and elsewhere sold out to foreign actors who
sold out the foreign actors
were seeking to gain influence and access
who were seeking to gain influence and access to the Bidens.
Joe Biden and the
Yeah. He sold them out. And like I got to tell you, like this is the other side of the kind of like what exactly are you telling me? Horse shit. This horse shit we've been dealing with, which is like apparently you're pissed because Joe Biden made a bunch of promises to the Chinese. They gave him a bunch of money and then he screwed them and kept the money. Our biggest enemies in the world gave him millions of dollars and got nothing in return. And his thing is, he sold them out. They were supposed to get, the Chinese that he worked for were supposed to get something. And they didn't. The Bidens sold them out. That's in his opening fucking statement. Now, do you think anybody but me is pointing this out right now? No. Do you think anybody but me might start pointing it out over the next couple of days if anybody bothers to look? Maybe. I hope so. Do they have to give me credit? No, they don't. But if they do it, if you're watching, and I know you are, just wink at camera at some point. Just give me, touch this side of your nose or something like that. Because that's exactly what I've been telling you guys about. He's fucking mad at them because his business fell through.
United States government. Joe Biden.
Yes, Joe Biden sold out foreign actors who were trying to get access to him and the U.S. government. He fucked them out of their hard-earned money. He screwed the Chinese and the Russians. How dare he? What?
Was more than a participant in and a beneficiary of his family's business. He was an
which apparently, by the way, the family business apparently is conning the Chinese Communist Party out of their money. Which again, I ask you, why are you guys not fine with this?
Active, aware enabler who met with business associates such as myself
in 2017, you dumb motherfucker. Who cares?
To further the business, despise being buffered by a complex scheme to maintain.
Despise being buffered? You mean despite?
Plausible deniability.
Why would he need plausible deniability in fucking 2017?
I asked this big question. If there's no evidence of corruption here today, if Joe's conduct and the conduct of his family were fully legal and proper, then why are they so dishonest about it?
Excuse me, point of order, Mr. Chairman. States facts not in evidence. You are introducing a new, you have to point to something materially true about this. Okay, here we go.
Not just slight misrepresentations of fact, but deep untruths about the entire corrupt enterprise.
Oh, you mean the part where you're a loser and you were full of shit and nobody liked working with you because you were a dick and you wanted 3 votes out of the 7, even though everybody put in the same stake on the company, and you somehow thought that you deserved more than anybody else, even though Hunter Biden is actually the lawyer who drafted the entire fucking thing? Like that?
Hunter Biden gave his transcribed interview on February 28th and lied throughout his testimony. Here's just one egregious example.
Let's do it. Egregious. I want egregious. You guys ready for egregious? I don't know if you can handle it. Here it comes. Egregious.
Of Hunter's perjury. He lied to the committee on important details concerning his money demands and threats to CFC in text messages on July 30th and 31st, 2017.
How so?
He leveraged his father's presence next to him in that infamous text to strong-arm CFC to paying Hunter immediately.
Okay, tongue jet. Listen here, asshole. You weren't there. You were not physically in the room. You are not a witness to whether Joe Biden was in the room or not in the room. Who the fuck are you to say he was lying? It's just stupid. Also, again, so you're pissed because Hunter strong-armed CEFC to get paid immediately because they were wasting his fucking time, apparently, and this was all going to be bullshit. And he's like, you better write me a fucking check right now for what you promised me for this deal, or you're fucked. You're never doing business anywhere. As I'm going to shout it to the fucking rooftops, including to my dad, who, he may not be vice president anymore, but he knows some powerful people. He's going to tell them you're full of shit. And he got paid. You know who didn't get paid? This asshole. Because right after that, the deal fell apart because CEFC wouldn't set up a U.S. subsidiary.
Jim Biden also lied extensively throughout his transcribed interview on February 21st and perjured himself. An example of that, on page 100 of his transcript, Jim is asked specifically.
All right, specifically. Here's the big lie. Come on. You've only got a few minutes. You're going to go through this whole thing. You find the thing that matters. Let's do this.
Do you recall having a meeting with Hunter Biden, Tony Blah-Linski, and Joe Biden? Jim's response, absolutely not.
So he absolutely didn't recall the meeting. How do you factually assess someone's memory? Are you trying to tell me that when Donald Trump says he can't recall some things, even though he says, when he says in a deposition that he doesn't recall saying he has the best memory, that he might be full of shit, although legally there is no way of finding out because who can tell?
The committee was so shocked by his perjury that they asked him the same question multiple times. Each time he denied meeting with me and Joe Biden.
No, I think he denied remembering meeting with you.
After the committee showed him text messages confirming that I met with Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and Jim Biden at the Beverly Hilton in May 2017, Jim Biden, with a former U.S. attorney lawyer sitting next to him, still denied that meeting took place.
No, he didn't. He denied remembering it. Hold on. I'm gonna get aggravated. Okay, let's see. James Biden transcript. Don't make me. James, it's like full. There you go. James Biden. Yeah. Full transcript. James Biden's thing. A doodle. Full transcript. Where's that? Why is that a picture? I don't know. That's a picture. Hold on. Oh. That's not Biden's special counsel interview. Oh, sorry. James, former Biden, 40 James brother oversight judicial releases. James Biden, here it is. James Biden says, blah, blah, blah. This is it. If I can be found here. Excellent. Got it. Boom. Right away. Okay, now, there's page 1. There's page 78. There's 146. There's 126. There's 106. We're getting close. 107. 108. Oh, this is Gates's questions. Okay. Well, you're right here. Memo, RE, key phrase 1, domestic context. So I'll maybe ask the question this way. What was phase 1? Sourcing energy deals. And what role were these policymakers supposed to play in the sourcing of these deals? That was the question I had. But it seems to be the answer you're providing, right? I mean, how is this a document that proposes questions? I was simply identifying that there were projects that were going to be on these different locations, and I wanted a further understanding through any operation of these principles in terms of the qualifications, where, and the scope of the project. Not necessarily, blah, blah, blah. To describe here the benefit of CEFC, nurture, what does that mean? I'm sorry, Congressman, you didn't understand what you said. You don't know what the word nurture means? I'm not sure what you meant by it. Well, develop the relationships. Is that, hold on, did he say 108 or 106? Which, hold on, back the fuck up. Let's go.
Text messages meeting with me and Joe Biden. After the committee showed him text meeting with Hunter, Jim Biden also lied extensively throughout his transcribed interview on February 21st and perjured himself. An example of that, on page 100 of his transcript.
Oh, sorry, 100. I was off by 8. Beg your pardon. I don't know why I got 108 stuck in my head. All right, let's go back to here. There's 102, 101, 100. 100. Do you recall a meeting in Los Angeles, the Beverly Hotel, with you, Hunter Biden, and Tony Blah-Linski. I remember that my brother had a speaking engagement at the hotel. I don't know what it was, and that we were in Los Angeles, and I was outside the hotel. I never went into the hotel with my brother, and that's my recollection, that my brother never came out and had any discussions. May have came out to say hi, that's all. Say hi to who? Me. When you were at the hotel, do you recall having a meeting with Hunter Biden and Tony Blah-Linski and Joe Biden? Absolutely not. Is it your testimony today the meeting never took place? Yes, sir. That he was present for. That I was present for. Okay, so that's what happened. This is the idea. The Hunter brought him over to meet Joe. James wasn't at that meeting. He was outside. They might have said hi, but he wasn't present for the meeting. That's what he's talking about. Absolutely not. We were not all in a meeting together. Did you ever talk with Hunter Biden about meeting Tony Blah-Linski? Excuse me. Did you ever talk with Hunter Biden about Joe Biden meeting Tony Blah-Linski? No, not that he remembers. Not that I recall. Do you recall assisting Tony Blah-Linski at the Milken conference? No. So it's your testimony that in May of 2017 that you did not assist Tony Blah-Linski at the Milken conference, other than possibly getting him access to get into the hotel. Is it fair that you and your memory might not be on point when it comes to this May 2017 timeframe? Wait, I'm not sure what that means. That's Fishman. This is lawyer. I guess I'm having difficulty. You remember this happening, or are you saying you don't? You asked him if he had been meeting with Blah-Linski and Hunter. He said no to that, a meeting. Correct. But that you asked him if he gave him any assistance. He said he assisted him in maybe getting to the hotel. Well, he said he didn't. I think he said he couldn't remember. So that's why I'm trying to understand if that's Mr. Fishman. To be fair, James Biden, I don't see that as a big event or being able to give him access to the hotel. I'm going to show you Exhibit 9. Now look at this chat. This is a production by Tony Blah-Linski. This appears to be the chat between you and Mr. Blah-Linski. This is a screenshot? Question mark. A screenshot of the chat. Yes, I'll read it. Have you guys authenticated this in the way? Through Tony Blah-Linski? Yes, we did. So no. But not from the electronics itself. There's a host of information about the electronics which are available on the Ways and Means website through 302s. The first chat I'll read in the record. I'll get back to you in 50 minutes. Let's meet at the same place as last night. Jim. Then it looks like Mr. Blah-Linski replies, okay, with conference going on, might be tough one to get even in front doors, so you might have to grab me out front. Appears you responded, will do. Tony, spell your last name? Sorry, Jim. Does this refresh your recollection? Yeah, about possibly getting him into... The question is, does it refresh your recollection? You remember it? That's the question you're asking, right? Correct. Does this help you remember, or does it not help you remember? You know, it would suggest that he has to get into the hotel, and with, Secret Service and everything going around the convention, that, the reason I wanted the spelling of his last name is, send him to door 3 and ask for Agent X and ask him to give him admittance by Mr. Somebody. And then first text, which appears to you, I'll get back to you in 15 minutes. Meet same place last night, Jim. Do you remember what you're referring to? He said that? It could have been the bar. I don't know. Well, you go through the Beverly Hotel bar right before the Milken conference? I don't recall. Yeah, by the way, that hotel, if you come in the valet, there's like a bar area straight when you walk in, and the big ballroom is to your right where a lot of the shit happens, and then the hotel's above it, and then there's sort of another like little conference rooms to the left. It's like, and it's shaped like a big like sharp U, in case you've never been there. I've done a bunch of charity events there, like Humane Society does their shit there. It's a lovely place. A lot of times the like the Golden Globes will sometimes be in that ballroom. Okay. Do you recall whether you were at the bar with Hunter Biden, Tony Blah-Linski, and Joe Biden? That I know did not happen. Who were you at the bar with? I could have been there just with Tony Blah-Linski. I could have been there with Hunter as well, but my brother was never there. Do you recall why Tony Blah-Linski was invited to the Milken conference? No. Do you remember how it came up in conversation that he would even be invited to the event where your brother was speaking? No. Do you recall your brother speaking at that event? My brother speaks at so many different events, it wouldn't be surprising me that he was speaking there. After the Milken conference, did you meet with Tony Blah-Linski at the Peninsula Hotel? Possibly, I don't recall. So you have no memory of. No, it's very calm down. It's very possible he was in Los Angeles. He was part of the promoting himself, as you know, whiz bang Wall Street operative, and that he could have very well. I could have very well met him there and seen him there, had a discussion with him. How many times do you think you talked with Mr. Blah-Linski? I don't know, 10's a wild guess, but I wasn't fond of Blah-Linski. Oh, now we're getting into the part that upsets him. I'm going to show you Exhibit 10, which is another chat. This is another chat with you and Tony Blah-Linski, May 3rd, same day as the Milken conference. I believe you're right. I'm very close, no worries, 2 blocks. We're off to see Lieutenant G, which I believe is the Lieutenant Governor. See you in New York City. Great getting to spend time with you. Best, Jim. When Mr. Blah-Linski responds, okay, great. Good luck in the meeting. Safe travels. See you in New York City. Thanks. When you say, we're off to see the Lieutenant Governor, you're referring to as we. Do you recall? I don't. Were you with Joe Biden at the time? No. Do you know if it was Hunter Biden? More likely than not, it was Hunter. I'm not going to show you Exhibit 10. I'm now going to show you Exhibit 10. Excuse me. Do you have it? Yeah. It appears to be a memo regarding key phase of one domestic contacts, beg your pardon. And it's an email from you to James Gilliar copying Tony Blah-Linski, Hunter, and Rob Walker. Can you wait? Yeah, sure. It's dated May 15th, 2017. Again, I don't give a rat fuck what happened in the 1 8-month period where Joe Biden wasn't in office and wasn't running for office.
Jim has asked specifically, do you recall having a meeting with Hunter Biden, Tony Blah-Linski, and Joe Biden? Jim's response, absolutely not.
Right. He does not remember having a meeting with you guys. He met you and Hunter in the bar. He wasn't present for the meeting that you had with Joe and Hunter. He was outside. That's what he's talking about. I don't even know why this is a big deal.
The committee was so shocked by his perjury that they...
It wasn't perjury. It's his memory. And so insofar as it seems to be a he said about whether he was there or not.
They asked him the same question multiple times. Each time he denied meeting with me and Joe Biden. After the committee showed him text messages confirming that I met with Joe Biden.
Yeah, that you met with Joe Biden, not that you did it all together. Also that you met Hunter and him in the bar, and then you and Hunter met Joe later for drinks or wherever the fuck you guys met.
Hunter Biden.
This is so fucking weird.
Biden and Jim Biden.
By the way, let me remind you, this is his prime example. Whether or not Jim Biden remembers a meeting specifically as he remembers it during the Milken conference in 2017.
At the Beverly Hilton.
When Joe Biden was not fucking president.
In May 2000,
or vice president.
2017.
Either.
Jim Biden, with a former U.S. attorney lawyer sitting next to him, still denied that meeting took place.
No, he didn't. He denied remembering it. He remembers maybe helping you get into the hotel. That's probably what the text messages were about. But he doesn't remember sitting down with you for a meeting with Joe Biden. And the time he was in the bar with you, maybe Hunter was there, but certainly Joe wasn't. Why is this a big deal?
Hunter Biden, in his own transcribed interview, confirmed that that meeting took place.
Yeah, between you and him and Joe. And that Joe talked about like family and loss and, almost like a mini stump speech, that he would give to anybody who was in the service.
Hunter confirmed his uncle perjured himself in front of this committee.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I'm simply here to tell the truth to the American people, and I hope each and every one of you...
By the way, those were his two fucking examples. And the big one on James Biden perjuring himself is that he doesn't remember being part of the actual sitting meeting. He was outside, and at no point in his description of it does he go, I sat here, James Biden sat right there, Joe Biden was sitting right here, they talked back and forth about blah, blah, blah. I got news for you. If I ever had a sit-down meeting with the vice president or the former vice president of anyone, I could tell you who the fuck was there, especially if I was going into business with them and the family was there. I could tell you which family members were there and which ones were engaged. Wouldn't you think? But you can't go, we sat, I'll draw you a fucking picture. Good Lord. Corner me sometime and ask me about my trips to the Playboy Mansion. The maps I can draw. All right.
Congressmen and women, give me the opportunity to do that instead of
yes, you must have the opportunity to do it.
Focusing on Russia or smearing my family's name or focusing on...
Hey, asshole, just because they're calling you out doesn't mean they're smearing your family's name, Mr. The Biden brand was the brand of the Bidens. You're not screwing the House Blah-Linski by being a fuckwad. Nobody cares. Nobody's going, oh, we're tarnishing the great name of House Blah-Linski. The fuck up.
On facts that are irrelevant today. I yield back.
Did it again. It's the same shit. He hit the mic again. Anyway, so that was his opening statement, and those were his two big gotchas. whether or not there was a moment where James Biden remembered whether he was part of a meeting or whether he just helped him into the hotel and he met at the bar with Hunter, but he never sat down for the meeting part with Joe, which is not an assertion that Blah-Linski makes anywhere, just that he was there as well. You can see him kind of tap dancing around the fucking language on all this. But ultimately, I think the big takeaway of that is that Blah-Linski accidentally let the truth slip out, which is that he was mad because the Bidens didn't follow through with this business deal that he set up and was hoping would be his fucking ticket, because the Chinese people that were involved, that were linked to the Chinese government and perhaps even the military over there that he set up, didn't go through because the Bidens wouldn't have anything to do with it because they wouldn't set up an American subsidiary, and the deal fell apart. And so he was mad that he basically, that the Bidens, quote unquote, like, rolled the Chinese, that he defrauded his business partners who were there under fraudulent pretenses. So, fascinating, don't you think? Oh, yes. Now, Jim Jordan also, interestingly enough, was at this thing.
Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. He's also a member.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Maria. How does it solve a problem like Maria? Mornings with Maria on Fox Business. Probably the show singly most responsible for the loss of money to Dominion that Fox had to pay out, and still somehow has her fucking job. Maybe because even more than Sean Hannity, she seems to be like the Fox Trump whisperer, like he wants to come on her show on occasion. Democrats invite left parties to testify at hearing. This is Jim Jordan talking about it. I don't know if this is before or after, but it's like, don't get into business with the Biden crew, Jim Jordan warns. Okay, again, I will say this for the record, and for all the maggots that are there, we have some. Yes, do we have any maggots present? Are there any trolls present? Because I want you guys to hear this. Thought exercise. You have your entire life savings and every dime for your child's college fund, everything, all of it, one big lump sum. And you have a gun someone's got a gun to your head, and you have a choice. You can invest it in Burisma. It's the only company you can invest in. It has to go into Burisma. And your only choice is invest in Burisma before Hunter Biden is involved or after. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 ram, da, 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 da. Come on, you only get one choice. Before or after. Da, 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 da. Angry funny mom loses. Before is a terrible decision. After is the correct answer. That is the only way you will see a profit. That's the only way you won't be fucked out of your money and have someone run off with it to Russia. For the record, Burisma, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Let me see if I can. How do you pronounce it?
The Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese.
They don't, but oh, fuck it. Just for the record, if you're going to invest it in that company, if you invested it before Hunter Biden showed up, you would be broke right now. And if you invested it after, you would be making a profit currently. It is now a functioning company. It is now turning a profit for its investors. So how do you explain that? If the whole point was corruption, why is it less corrupt after Hunter Biden works there and when Joe Biden is president, and arguably through the middle of the Trump years, much to his chagrin, except and before Hunter Biden shows up, it's a fucking travesty. And that if you invested in it, if your pension fund put their money in Burisma, they would lose every dime. Yep. So yeah. So just stop being corrupt, okay? That's my point, Wes. There is no corruption. There wasn't any. There wasn't any from Joe. There wasn't any from Hunter. The company stopped being corrupt. largely because they, when they switched out Shokin, they started brooming out all the Russian sock puppets. So, again, much to the chagrin of Republicans who've been getting Russian money through the NRA for years, and now that money has dried up. Anyways, here we go. Jim, spelled G-Y-M, Jordan, a man whose claim to fame is not wearing a jacket and looking the other way when sexual assault happens to men in his charge at a college wrestling program. And Maria, who seems confused by every fucking thing, Bartiromo.
Member of the House Oversight Committee. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for being here today.
Mr. Chairman, Mrs. Sherman, is that his drag name? So I'm going to be crystal clear, and Mrs. Sherman.
Good to be with you.
I was just mentioning the call that Galanis said Joe Biden, when he was vice president, called into a meeting. It was Elena Baturina and her husband, who was the mayor of Moscow. We understand.
Who is, I'm fairly certain, dead. And also, none of that money went to Hunter.
Understand that Elena Baturina then sent Hunter Biden money. Is that correct?
No, she didn't. At least not according to Devin Archer's testimony.
That's exactly correct. This call was
No, it's not exactly correct. The money did, and by the way, didn't send the money. You don't get to fucking keep it. She invested money through Devin Archer in real estate.
May 4th, 2014, took place in New York at some party they were at. They stepped aside.
Some party? You mean the World Food Bank?
Joe Biden calls and is put on speakerphone by Hunter Biden and talks to Miss Baturina and other folks who were there at that event. Now, I think this is an interesting time, too, because remember, Miss Baturina is a
Jason Galanis' opening statement, which, for the record, I don't know if you guys know this, he made from prison. Jason Galanis, for those of you who don't know, was engaged with Devin Archer in a scheme to defraud Native tribes and a scheme to defraud pensioners. Yeah, Jason Galanis has been in jail for 8 years so far. Devin Archer is going to jail on these same charges, and he's trying. And Galanis basically, in his opening statement, says he was sexually assaulted by the staff of the jail as retribution for him, I guess, speaking the truth about Joe Biden, which is just fucking weird. First of all, how many, prison guards you think vote Democrat? Seriously. Especially, and are committed Democrats to where they will, I guess, go against their own sexual preference to attack someone just to show, I'll show you, Dark Brandon doth command.
wealthiest woman in Russia. This is at the same time, it's actually...
She wasn't then. She was not then. She was not the wealthiest woman in Russia at the time. She wasn't even the wealthiest woman in fucking Moscow. She got richer after her husband kicked off. He was busted for corruption, and then, I don't know, he had gravity poisoning or whatever the fuck happens to those people. But you know when she really got, rich? Anybody know? After she invested in Rosemont Realty or whatever. Devin Archer made her a bunch of money, apparently.
2 months after Russia goes in and takes Crimea, and there was all kinds of sanctions put on people, but she somehow escaped the sanctions. And
because she's not an oligarch. And at that time, she wasn't that rich.
Then she's paying the Biden business operation here, Hunter Biden and his partner's money, both before and after that meeting on May 4th, 2014.
Well, then why was the meet? If she's paying him before and after, what the fuck is the point of the meeting? No, dummy. That's not how bribery and shit works. You don't start paying until they start doing the shit. What are you talking about? If she was paying before, she just had an ongoing business relationship with Devin Archer. Who gives a shit?
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Dumb fuck. It only works if she wasn't giving money and it was all tied up and she was like, I can't pry this shit loose. Pops, can you call her and say, be good to my boy? And from that, she'll go, I see what you mean. Yes, when they say be good to my boy in Russia, this means friends don't bounce out of third-floor windows if you don't kick in cash. Yes.
Did she send a check for $3.5 million to the Biden clan?
No.
Yep.
No, she didn't. No, she fucking well did not. She sent it to Devin Archer. The Biden clan. Jesus Christ. What do you fucking think they what is he, Robert the Bruce? They stand on fucking hillsides? Hold the Biden clan.
Part of this real estate investment entity that they were working on together.
Part of this.
But she, in fact, did that. I mean, and that's the.
No, she in fact did not. For the record, she fucking well did not. She didn't spend none of that money went to the Klan.
Big picture. You know what? You played the clip from Hunter Biden. He said baseless inquiry. We got millions of dollars from foreign entities.
Right. That don't add up to just one payment from China to Donald Trump while he's fucking president. While he's renting out entire floors of his hotels when no one's in them. The beds don't need to be changed. There's no fucking room service that has to be cleaned up. Nobody has to fucking sweep. It's fucking spotless. They're the greatest hotel guests ever, those CCP associates.
Flowing through 20 different companies for what?
Okay, some are investments, some are direct payments, some are for legal fees. So you know this, everybody knows this. Hunter Biden is a lawyer. He's unlike Rudy Giuliani, he can practice law in a lot of places. And so sometimes he gets paid as a lawyer. Sometimes he's an investment like broker with 3 or 4 other people. They get in together and they build an investment fund, and that's what they were doing for a little bit. That's what that money was for. And that wasn't your money. You don't get to keep that money. When people give that money, you don't get to have it. You get to invest it on their behalf, and because of your brains and acumen and you taking a shitty, corrupt company and turning it into a profitable enterprise, there's a profit that is now made, and you get a piece of that. And then the other situation, they were directly brokering a deal for the sale of a natural gas processing plant in Louisiana that didn't go through because fucking CEFC wouldn't set up an American subsidiary. And the Bidens wouldn't fuck around with that.
What was the service? What were they selling? What were they offering? And
well, it sure wasn't access to the vice president because he wasn't fucking vice president at the time.
Devin Archer, Hunter Biden's business partner.
Also, by the way, is anybody looking at what Joe Biden has been doing during his presidency think that the Chinese have something over on him? The other thing, too, is like, what are they going to do? You have to do what we say or we're going to release these shitty pictures of your son. Apparently, Joe was like, I love my son. Go fuck yourself. I don't care. It's sad, but we've seen him. We know what he went through. Nobody cares. Fuck you. And P.S., you don't get microchips that are, better than like 5th gen anymore. That's it. Sorry. Have fun collapsing your economy.
Partner told us in his deposition it was for access to the brand.
No, it wasn't. You don't have access to the fucking brand. You are the brand. You represent the brand. Access to it? The fuck? Yeah, that's you want access to a Snickers. Get the fuck out of here.
And the brand was Joe Biden.
And what qualities does the brand have? Loyalty, honesty, a focus on, curing cancer and working on the cancer moonshot, being a straight shooter, maybe even swearing a little too much. That would be
brand who played rounds of golf, took phone calls and meetings, attended.
Jesus, you really want to go down the rounds of golf road, motherfucker? Really?
Lunches and dinners with Hunter Biden and his business associates, the brand who conditioned $1 billion.
Get the fuck out of here with this shit. On ending corruption in the Inspector General's office in Ukraine at the request of the entire Congress.
Of American tax money on the firing of the prosecutor who...
No. Oh, by the way, also wrong. Not American taxpayer money. It's World Bank money, loaned directly, and we would be the guarantor of that $1 billion. It doesn't mean we ever paid a dime of it, by the way. That's not American tax dollars, because it's a guarantee. It's a loan guarantee. We're on the hook if it doesn't get paid back, but we don't We don't just give them a fucking pallet of $1 billion, you dumb motherfucker.
Who was investigating the company Hunter Biden said on the
No, he wasn't. He was avoiding investigating him. As a matter of fact, again, Shokin's business model. Start an investigation and then put it on the shelf and then threaten the business that if you don't stop paying, if you don't pay me on the regular, you ever stop paying, I'm going to take the file off the shelf and it's going to find its way to the desk of one of my investigators. By the way, investigators who had Kalashnikovs, diamonds, and big duffel bags full of money when they were busted because they fucking threatened people with their life. It wasn't even like, I'm going to throw you in jail. These motherfuckers, I mean, you don't have an AK-47 even to just brandish at something. Jesus.
the board of and was receiving $1 million a year. That's what we're talking about here. So this idea that it's baseless is just ridiculous.
No, it's actually a great description of it. It's not just baseless, though. I would say it's a baseless waste of fucking time.
The country can see what was going on here.
No, they can't. If they could, and if that was what was going on and we all saw it, there wouldn't even be need for hearings, would there? If you're up to your fucking eyeballs in evidence, where is it? Why do you even need to talk to Blah-Linski again?
And Mr.
Just file it.
Blah-Linski, Mr. Galanis will talk about when Joe Biden showed up and when Joe Biden was actually involved in these things.
You mean when he was no longer vice president and then he didn't actually go into business with any of these people and he was just friendly? Yeah. I'm just, my heart's all aflutter.
That's what we're going to hear today, and the contradictions of when Hunter Biden testified under oath, what he said versus what all his partners, who he no longer has any relationship with, what they said under oath.
No, actually, Blah-Linski contradicts Devin Archer. So do you, by the way. Rob Walker, I don't know that I've seen his testimony fully, but it seems to be right on par. All of them have said, nah, they weren't involved in the business or whatever. He would be on the phone and he'd say, how's the weather, guys? But that was basically it. And Joe Biden called Hunter every fucking day. And Tony Blah-Linski, and it was never heard any of these phone calls, was never present for one. Devin Archer said he was present for about 20 of them, and they come at random times of the day. Sometimes they would be while he was at dinner, he would always pick up because his fucking mom, sister, and brother had died, and his dad is old. And so you pick up the fucking phone. And if people don't understand it, then you just go, my dad was vice president. I fucking pick up the phone. Like, get off, you know. But, and even then, he's like, I put him on speaker. Hey, Dad, I'm here with I'm not in a drug den. I'm here with my business associates. It's fine. Because that's what they were worried about at the time. They were worried about him fucking dying. They were worried that he would come in there and go, Dad, I'm fine. I'm like, oh, yeah? Let me hear who's there. Let me say hi to whoever's there. Because that was the worry. Let's be abundantly clear. That's what was going on. Seriously. Oh, they're not going to subpoena Smirnov, 56 Nick Rich. No.
Policy decision. Get the former prosecutor in Ukraine fired.
Yes, and the entire Congress and the administration and the World Bank and the European Union were all for it and trying to get it done. That's why he bragged about it, dum-dum.
You're saying you believe Joe Biden and his family was paid for making that policy decision to go against the Ukraine prosecutor. Was that
what?
One? I'm trying to connect the dots.
No. First of all, I don't even know where the fuck you got that part of it. What do you think? You think Slavchevsky bribed Biden to get Shokin fired?
If they did anything that is actual policy that affects more than just the family, the country, and is he getting paid for that?
No. It was the will of the entire country.
The State Department had sent the prosecutor a letter saying you're doing a good job just a few.
Bullshit. They did not. No, they did not. They did not send him a letter. They sent a letter that like they're making progress, but this is one of the hang-ups is the prosecutor general's office. Get the fuck out of here.
Months before Joe Biden
lie. Absolute fundamental lie.
Goes over there and conditions the release on the money on the firing of that same prosecutor. That prosecutor was actually looking into Burisma and Zolochevsky.
Bullshit.
The CEO of that Ukrainian energy company. The one before him allowed him to have $23 million that had been seized, allowed him to have it back. The one after him dropped the charges. So the one
and refiled because literally Shokin had screwed the pooch. He'd fucked up that investigation.
in the middle who's actually doing the investigation, that's the one who gets fired. And oh, by the way, the State Department, as well as the...
Well, where's Levchevsky now? Surely he's in Ukraine, living the high life, right? Running the company still, skimming money off the top. Nobody's coming after him. Look at all the corruption, right? Certainly, Zlochevsky is still there. Oh no? Oh no, he what? He fled the country? Oh no, he bought Cypriot citizenship and is hiding?
Interagency Policy Committee all said, don't fire the guy, focus on, don't condition the release of the money on the firing of the guy. But
No, they didn't.
Biden makes a game time decision. He calls an audible on the flight over. And it was...
On the flight over? Bullshit! It was... All right. Every time? I suppose we have some, like I said, I suppose we have some new maggots that are in the fucking chat room, and I think you guys deserve to see this little piece. The little piece that I save for times like this with the Shokin's gotta go part of it. There we go. Shokin. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you one of the most egregious running lies that this dipshit brings up is this idea that on the Friday before Joe Biden flies to Ukraine, which he wasn't supposed to do. It is like the phone call happens and Joe Biden flies to Ukraine to do this on behalf of his son. Okay? Here you go. This is the U.S. State Department. There you go. Not for public release. This is, by the way, on John Solomon's Just the News website. This is the guy that Lev Parnas called out as being a Russian stooge. But this asshole is so fucking dumb, he just is posting anything he can get his fucking hands on. This is from the 23rd of November, 2015, which last I checked is before December 4th when the alleged phone call happened, and before December 7th when Biden flew to Ukraine. Goals and objectives. They talk about how they're going to they want Poroshenko and Yatsenyuk to make a statement about, specifically about corruption and build up their response to it again because they were letting it slack. Okay, here you go. You should recommend that he give a State of the Nation speech to the Rada in which he re-energizes that effort and rolls out new proposed reforms around corruption. There is wide agreement that anti-corruption must be at the top of the list and that reforms must include an overhaul of the Prosecutor General's office, including removal of Prosecutor General Shokin, who is widely regarded as an obstacle to fighting corruption, if not a source of the problem. This is about a month before the fucking phone call. And by the way, this was an ongoing problem they had. They kept bringing this back up, but by the time they got to the third loan guarantee, it was getting a bit frustrating. Poroshenko wasn't letting Shokin go because Shokin was his kid's fucking godfather. Jim Jordan is a fucking liar. And in this particular clip, he has lied a dozen times about obvious and provable material facts that cannot be undone unless you have a fucking time machine. I don't know. Please, mainstream media, the folks that watch my show, and I love you guys, please go look this up. I have posted it till I'm blue in the fucking face. This particular thing, these are the notes put together by the State Department and the administration for the vice president that is agreed on by everybody about what he has to fucking do. And this is before the fucking phone call from Dubai where they allegedly called DC and And this is for a trip that was already planned. It references your last call with him was November 5th. Your last meeting with him was in New York, September 28th, which is, by the way, my dad's birthday, but whatever. This is, please clear on the attached BCLs for the VPOTUS Kiev trip by OOB tomorrow. As Newland needs to see these tomorrow before she leaves on travel. Both papers extremely similar. Thanks for your help. Please let me know if you have any questions. The Ukraine desk in the White House who's clearing all these with the administration and going through all this stuff. And they make a couple of like word changes. And by the way, every time they change it in the later version of it, it gets more direct. But you know what it always includes? Reforms must include an overhaul of the Prosecutor General's office, including removal of Prosecutor General Shokin. Reform priorities should also include the judiciary and standing up the new National Investigative Bureau, akin to the FBI. You will want to agree with Yatsenyuk's vision for a 2016 budget and tax plan that are consistent with the IMF recommended programs. So the IMF is who was the International Monetary Fund was the people who were actually giving them the cash. We were guaranteeing $1 billion at a pop. We didn't use taxpayer fucking money. All right. Now, where was I? Dum-dum. Everybody okay? All right.
Right after he got a call from his son.
Bullshit. Oh, God. It's bullshit. It's such bullshit. It's bullshit. It's gooey, flatulating, runny, substantially gooey bullshit.
According to Devin Archer saying,
it's bull diarrhea. It's bulleria.
hey, we need relief from this pressure we're getting.
Nope, that's not what he said.
From the prosecutor. I think that's pretty important.
You think that's a lie that works. It doesn't.
Facts. Remember this too, Maria.
Remember this too, Maria. This guy is lying to your fucking face. Maria Bartiromo, he's lying. I just showed that he's lying. I show it every time he tells this stupid, there's 4 points, the facts that are irrefutable, blah, blah. The first 2 are opinions, and the other 2 are bullshit. And opinions aren't facts. I don't give a shit. And I appreciate everyone's opinion. I know a lot of people walk up to me and they go, hey, that's just like your opinion, man. And I'm like, of course it's my opinion. Who else's opinion am I supposed to give? What kind of weak-kneed bullshit? What do you think, I'm farming other people's opinions? This is how I really feel, or I wouldn't waste your goddamn time. That said, this guy is Maria. I know you hate me, and you have good reason to, because I think you're full of shit. But this guy is lying to your fucking face.
Hunter Biden gets put on the board of Burisma, gets paid $1 million a year.
Right. And after that happens, going forward, Burisma becomes a good bet. Isn't that weird? Before Hunter Biden joins the board, if you gave your money to Burisma, there was a huge chunk of it would just go straight to Russia. Like 80% of it would go right out the fucking door and you'd never see it again. And then he shows up, and then since then, it's the company's above board. Do you notice how none of them are talking about Burisma currently being a criminal enterprise? Currently being corrupt? I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing it.
The Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese.
No. By the way, no one ever said that to him.
Biden wasn't qualified. He told us that in
No, he didn't have to be qualified. It was literally just his name that kept it afloat.
an interview he did.
Please post a link to that letter. I will. Yes. Hold on. As a matter of fact, we'll do it right now. Right now. Here's this. Let me copy this. Copy. And then I will put it in the chat room for you guys. Paste. There we go. That's the link. And you should all have it. And the important part of it is like once the statement starts, it's on, I don't know, whatever, page 3 or 4. There's 2 versions of it on there, minor changes that they make, but it's all in there. And the important thing is that it's way before the fucking phone call, and the trip was already on the calendar, And let me say this as clearly as I can. Jim Jordan knows this. Jim Jordan knows John Solomon. Jim Jordan knows this memo, this memorandum on the trip exists. Jim Jordan also knows that most people he talks to don't know about it, especially the Maria Bartiromos of the fucking world. Okay, here we go. Yes, and by the way, you're right. In 2023, they dissolved Burisma and it became Burisma Holdings, which is another variation of it, just so you know. Where were we? Back here. This bullshit.
He said himself he wasn't qualified. Hunter Biden gets asked by Zolochevsky to relieve the pressure they're under. 4 days later, Joe Biden flies to...
Bullshit. The trip was already planned in October.
Ukraine and conditions the release of the tax dollars on the firing.
They're not tax dollars. They aren't. It's a loan guarantee. It's not tax dollars, motherfucker. Say tax guarantee. Even Maria Bartiromo, in her diluted Kool-Aid sponge brain delirium, knows the difference between cash and a loan guarantee. And if she doesn't, you know who she can call right now? Donald Trump. Because that's what he's wrestling with. He doesn't have one, and he can't get the other.
The prosecutor applying the pressure. Those facts are fundamental. They've never changed. So
they're not facts. They're not facts. Those aren't facts. Again, to her opinion, to her lies.
That to me is the key.
Why can't I interview this motherfucker? I gotta go. When I go to DC, fucking watch out.
When you couple it with all the other information we have, that's what was going on here.
Democrats also invited former Rudy Giuliani associate Lev Parnas to testify today. They're expected to make this hearing all about Trump. Mr. Chairman, is it going to get lost in the fact that now we're talking about a former aide or associate of Rudy Giuliani? I mean, is this the same subject?
Who knows? I mean, the problem we have with Rudy, obviously, is all the goddamn evidence. There's an ongoing investigation of that motherfucker in 3 different areas. And this guy who hung with him went to fucking jail.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? This is what the Democrats do every time. I mean,
is it?
Last week when we had Robert Hur in telling us that Joe Biden retained and disclosed classified information, he did it because he gave it to his book writer, the ghostwriter, the guy writing his book, that he was getting an $8 million.
Yeah, it wasn't classified top secret. He also, as vice president, had every right to declassify those materials or reference them. His decision-making process, not the actual paper.
Advance for that was his motivation, according.
No, I mean he did have the right to do that, but he didn't share
to the special counsel. But we're not going to charge him because he's a forgetful old man. That entire hearing, where those were the central facts, that entire hearing, what did the Democrats do? They focused on President Trump
because he engaged in a conspiracy to hide things he knew he wasn't supposed to have. And Biden and Pence and others who found out that they have classified documents in and amongst their stuff said, oh shit, okay, you guys need to take that stuff back and you guys can, I'll stand over here, but you guys can look through all that stuff. I'm not going to pocket anything. You can pat me down if you need to. Trump's more like, yeah, no, it's all good. 2 weeks. And all those boxes will stay in there the whole time.
I know President Trump is leading in every poll, and I believe is going to be our...
Nope, not anymore.
...next president, which is exactly what this country needs.
No, it isn't. But I will say I guess it's exactly what the Republicans need because they have no one else. The Republican Party has no one else they could run, which is fucking weird.
So I assume they're going to do the same thing today, but that's what they do every day. So I mean, every day they're going to talk about President Trump, big deal.
And then there's Hunter Biden's other business partner, Eric Schwerin. He's been described as the money man, the guy who was the architect of all these shell companies. He told lawmakers that a grandchild of Joe Biden may have put money in Joe Biden's checking account.
You mean they paid him back for some money that they gave him because that's how the family runs? That's where the whole, You'll have to pay half your salary because while Hunter Biden was in college, he had to give half his salary when he worked at whatever, a fucking hot dog stand to his dad because he was getting room and board and he got to stay at home or whatever. Also, these were not private emails. These were government email names. These were government emails. They were not private. These were government emails. See that word? That word is a lie.
You've got to explain this one to me. He also said that he had access to Joe Biden's checking and corporate accounts.
Right. He was a business manager for them. He handled the family's finances. Why is that weird? I got news for you. Almost every celebrity you like never touches their checkbook. Never has. I'll give you another one. Everybody in the Senate, but for maybe two, and that would include when he was there, Joe Biden, has it, I would say him and Bernie Sanders, don't write a physical check, have a business manager, and don't go anywhere near their personal finances. Shit, half of them don't even have a goddamn debit card.
Through the end of 2017, he said he never saw any loans made out to James or Sarah Biden. We know that Joe Biden received $40,000.
Yeah, that's because he took it out of the trust. He didn't loan it directly to them. They took it out of the trust, and then they paid the trust back, which is what it says later on.
Payment directly to him, and he says that was a...
You don't have any recollection of a loan from Sarah, James Biden, or any of their 70 companies that Joe Biden gave them? You can recall, I don't recall, no. And then when you were compiling all the documents for Vice President Biden, did you ever give any loans that you recall? No. Yeah, because that happened, this was in 2020. This wasn't when he was working with them.
Loan repayment check from his sister-in-law in September of 2017.
So fucking what?
So, Mr. Chairman, I want to get your take on all of this. First of all, why would Joe Biden's granddaughter be putting money in his account? And how much money have you been able to identify that has gone directly to Joe Biden? Because
yeah, how much money can you? $240,000. You think Joe Biden is that cheap a date that he would sell out his country and the future of his country for $250,000 after he got his book deal?
I know your colleagues, James Comer, the chairman of Oversight, has told me that you've identified $30 million from foreign characters all over the world that have sent money to the Biden clan.
Clan. Now, the Biden clan includes, I guess, Rob Walker and Tony Blah-Linski and Devin Archer and everybody who's not actually a Biden.
I'm trying to understand how much Joe Biden actually got of that, if in fact he got any of it.
Well, first of all, if the whole thing is selling his brand, my question is, why doesn't he get all of it, you dumb motherfuckers? Right? Wouldn't he get all of it? Like, there are two weird moments that you guys know have fucked with me over the last few years. One is the idea that Hunter was complaining via text messages about giving money to dad. Giuliani used to bring this shit up all the time. And I'm like, what bagman who knows he's living off the tit of his dad's brand bitches about giving the money? It's not your fucking money. If he's bitching at all, it proves it's not Joe's money. Right? The fact that he complains about any of the money he has to give means that he doesn't think his dad earned it. And certainly doesn't believe that his dad is the source by which he gets the money from other people, right? Right? Check me. Can someone check me? Am I losing my mind here? I don't understand. It's very strange, the whole thing. What bagman bitches about the Godfather? Right? What bagman gets to keep any of the money in the bag? Have we all not seen the opening scene of the magnum opus, the fantastic movie Beverly Hills Cop, which has, for a comedy, one of the most fucking disturbing openings of any movie. Holy shit, it's like Taxi Driver until the Pointer Sisters start singing. Right? When his buddy comes from Beverly Hills, working the Holland Art Gallery in Beverly Hills, it's like a great place. And he's like, yeah, I buy all my art there, right? And he goes, let me show you something. It's this, they're bearer bonds, they're bonds, untraceable, German, receipt 100 Deutsche Marks, they're bonds. He's like, I don't want to know how the fuck You got him. And he's like, I had him with me. I was going to come back. I came to see my friend, right? And they fucking snuff him and take him back because the bag man doesn't get to keep anything, you stupid motherfuckers. In what world, in what way do these people think this shit works? You just remember, Serge, that's the happy part of it. The opening, the killing of his buddy, Michael Tandino, is fucking heartbreaking. It's scary and sad and so well done and so realistic. They killed Mikey. I'm gonna fuck you up. Find out. Yeah. I don't think you have any idea who you're fucking with. Yeah. And so the opening part of that is all about a bagman who thinks he can keep some. Wes Webb's fiction. I know it's fiction. Do you think that's the part that diverges from reality? Do you think any bagman for the mob or the triad or the Yakuza or fucking, I don't know, like meth dealers in the Ozark goes, this is my take, and I'll just stuff a chunk of that shit in there. I don't bother to count it. Right? Jay, they threw me out a fucking window. I came to use the bathroom. They threw me out a fucking window. What's the crime? You get hit by a moving car. Jaywalking? This is bullshit. So, yeah, there is no situation where the bagman gets to keep any. So the fact that Hunter Biden is bitching about any money he has to give his dad proves beyond a reasonable doubt that his father is not involved in his finances, or he would just fucking give it to him. Right? Good Lord. Pretty good hit there you got there, Taggart.
Well, there's the loan payments. There's the $200,000. There's the $40,000 that.
Yeah, $240,000. Chicken shit money. Why would he take that after he sold his book and he's a millionaire for the first time in his life? Why would he? And also, if they're selling the brand and he's the brand, why is he getting the smallest slice? It boggles the mind.
That we can show. They say it's a loan payment, even though there's no documents for it. This is all stuff that.
Yes, there were. That came up later. They took it out of the trust and paid it back to him to put back in the trust.
The oversight committee has uncovered. I mean, this is part of the.
Yeah. This is part of the great scheme. Yeah, the Bidens are a huge corrupt criminal enterprise. The Biden dumpling gang has been fucking running a criminal enterprise in the United States, selling all kinds of influence and all this shit. And the way they keep it hidden from everyone is by writing paper checks in their fucking kitchen. Come on. $240,000? You can't fly down to the Caymans and buy a fucking, I don't know, some fucking rubies in a bag or some shit and smuggle them back in your butthole? What do you mean? They wrote a check on the kitchen counter? What the fuck's wrong with you?
The whole strategy here, moving money around all these different companies. What I do find
it didn't move around all these companies. They got paid. They paid their debts. That's it.
Interesting is everyone Hunter Biden seemed to be in business with, whether it was Devin Archer, Rob Walker, Eric Schwerin, Mr. Gilliar, Tony Blah-Linski, or Jason Galanis, none of them will talk to. They've all had a falling out. Hunter Biden doesn't speak with him, but somehow they're all wrong, and he's the only.
Well, it could be the fact that Galanis and Devin Archer are going to fucking jail, so maybe you should be a little suspect about this. Schwerin isn't on. He's not on the outs with Hunter Biden. They're still friends. He's still a family friend. He was helping him bail himself out. They're still close. He doesn't need his help anymore. He fixed it. The fuck? He's not in that group. And Blah-Linski, nobody wants to talk to that motherfucker. Not even Devin Archer doesn't want to talk to him. Rob Walker doesn't want to talk to him. Right? Galanis, I don't even know if they fucking knew each other, but he certainly isn't interested, except maybe they could get their story together and buy their way out of jail if Donald Trump becomes president again. And they think this guy's, if you attack, I mean, this is 2020 all over again. You get this motherfucker who's in jail to attack Joe Biden, and if I'm back in office, I'll get you out. That's the thought.
One telling the truth, even though they all tell things that
Joe Biden interacted with nearly all of Hunter. Yes, interacted. Hey guys, how's the weather? It's an incredible interaction. Russian oligarch Elena Baturina, who was giving money to Devin Archer before and after. He didn't fuck up the deal. I'll give him credit for that, but yeah. Kazakhstani oligarch Keniz Rakishev, who they helped with one gas deal, right? The Rosemont Seneca group did, and they got a tip. Basically, they got a car for each of it. But Devin Archer bought everybody a car for working on that deal instead of paying them. Burisma corporate secretary, what? Just Burisma's corporate secretary. Fuck it. Whatever her name is, nobody can spell it. Jonathan Lee, Hunter's Chinese associate, who he met. CEFC chairman Yi Jianming. Oh, you mean the guy? That's a bigger type. Look how big that is. Maria really is scared of the Chinese because they're going to eat our lunch. But Yi Jianming, he's the guy that owns a no-show apartment in Trump World Tower, right across from the UN. Which, by the way, before even 40 Wall Street, might be one of the ones that goes up on the chopping block. Just saying.
directly contradict what he said under oath. So I find that interesting.
No, they don't. No, they don't directly contradict. A lot of them are like, no, I don't quite remember. I think we did this, but I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that he didn't discuss business ever.
Interesting as well. But yeah, this is the confusion that exists. Millions of dollars from foreign entities flowing through like 20-some different companies.
And none of it ends up at Joe's, in Joe's pocket, except money he was owed by his brother.
Going to all kinds of Bidens.
And they wrote a paper check because they're criminal masterminds. Jesus Christ. Why did they, like, hey, do you take Visa? Hey, man, we're criming here. Okay, I think I figured this out. What? I want to pay you back in Fortnite points. I was at Target and I bought all the Fortnite point cards they had. And I'm going to have to go back, if my calculations are correct, 21 days in a row to every Target in the area. Huh? Because, yeah.
And then, by the way, it's Hunter Biden and Jim Biden who
But by the way, cameo or something. I see where it is. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. And Freddie, thank you for the stars. Love the Facebook people that try to contribute. It's a lovely, lovely thing. And thanks for the likes, everybody.
owe money to.
Oh, and Tim, thank you for the super chat.
All kinds of folks as well. So this is this whole access to the brand that Devin Archer talked about and others have talked about that I think is the central issue here.
A new
access to a brand, motherfucker. If the brand isn't worth anything, then what are they selling? That, by the way, you'll notice us say brand instead of access because he wasn't president when he met, or vice president either, with when he met with Blah-Linski, and he ended the relationship before he even started running again. Even his brother was like, I got to pay off my debts to you before we start this shit. So he paid him off, and that was that, right? We're done. If you're going to run for president, you don't want any outstanding debts to anybody. So here you go. You're going to need to put that money back, and we're going to start from scratch. That's not my shit.
Department of Justice filing reveals one of James Biden's business associates conspired to defraud Medicare with the alleged leader of the Colombo crime family. What happened here? Because I know that
James Biden's associate worked with alleged mafia boss to defraud Medicare. Wait a minute. James Biden knows Rick Scott?
structure of the deal that James Biden did with AmeriCorps, the healthcare company, was very, very similar to the structure of the deal done between the Biden camp and CEFC, the Chinese oil
No, it wasn't.
company. I mean, there's so many questions.
No, it wasn't. What the fuck are you talking about? James Biden didn't do a deal with fucking AmeriCorps so they could buy a hospital in a foreign country or some shit.
Here. Also, Eric Schwerin, who's the money man who set up all these shell accounts. If Joe Biden says he had nothing to do with any of this, how come Eric Schwerin had access to all his checking and savings accounts?
Yeah.
Because he was his business manager back when he was a senator into the vice presidency, and then they stopped working together because he didn't need him. And then he was like, my son needs some cleanup. Can you go help him? That's why. Am I the only person who looks at this testimony? Seriously. You were in the room, fuckwad.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter Biden testified, well, that was for convenience. Schwerin handled the money, and it just made it easier. I didn't have to pay certain fees when I was going to wire money, certain wiring fees, and they just did it. I mean, he came up with all kinds of reasons why they did it that way. It doesn't make.
No, it was one reason. He was their financial advisor, and he operated as a business manager for them. Because, I don't know if you know this, being vice president is busy work.
Make much sense to me. I think
and being the second lady is busy work too.
Final takeaway is though, like, don't get into business with the Biden.
Help Joe Biden file his tax returns. Well, we know he filed them. Worked as was a financial advisor for Joe Biden. Yeah. Dubbed the money guy. Oh, that's the crime. Hunter Biden's longtime business partner. Since after the fact, though, not during that time. Point person for Chinese business deals. What? No, he wasn't. Blah-Linski was the point person for the Chinese business deals. That's what he's pissed about.
Crew. I think that's fairly obvious because anyone who gets in business with, there's some kind of falling out that always takes place, and a bunch of people wind up being owed money by Jim and Hunter Biden. So,
yeah, Joe. They borrow money from their dad to chase down these business deals, apparently, from Hunter's dad.
That, to me, is one of the big takeaways. But those 4 fundamental facts relative to the Ukrainian energy company that Hunter Biden sat on the board of, and he told us himself he wasn't qualified. Those 4 facts with that. He was put on the board. He get paid a bunch of money. He wasn't qualified to
Again, this 4 facts bullshit. I did a short on this, goddammit.
Be on the board. He was asked to relieve the pressure that was coming to the company that the board he sat on, and Joe Biden.
And the decision had already been made, and it would have had no effect on the changes, and they were already the World Bank and the IMF and the U.S. government, the Congress, and the House, the Senate, and the administration had all agreed that Shokin had to go.
Biden took action. I think those 4 facts tell the central story.
Well, that's why you're an asshole, and that's why this is all so fucking lame. Look, I apologize to my audience for how often I have to bring up this document. I'm sorry. It has become the new VA Choice Act of 2014. If you'll recall, and some of the maggots might remember this, Trump will often take credit for the VA Choice Act, which was signed into law by Barack Obama in 2014. He'll say, in 50 years they were trying to do this and they could never get it done, and I got it done 3 years before I was president. But I keep bringing it up, the VA Choice Act of 2014, which he's like, you couldn't fire people, and the VA had a really bad reputation, and all those things were fixed in that period. All right. And Trump lied and stole the valor of the people who passed that to protect our vets and pretended that he was the one who did it. It was just like every other charity thing he did in New York. Don't give any money to the fucking charity. Just show up and insist that you get to sit up on the stage with everybody else who did contribute, and you're a lying piece of shit. Same stuff. Par for the fucking course. So I would often show that document on the regular. Why? Because I'm the master. That's why. And then this bullshit comes out, and I stumble across this little detail, this little chestnut from November 23rd of 2015, before the phone call, before the meeting, before Dubai, before Trump, and his lackeys decide to sell this bullshit about Shokin and all this. Before Jim Jordan's fucking committee starts, before everything. Back to this. And in it, how much the assistance is going to be. The implementation of Minsk, which was also not a part of it later because the Russians were not living up to it. The unity and reforms. Included in this stuff. Standing with the National Investigative Bureau. The SBU U.S. support. I will sign $1 billion loan guarantee with today and announce additional new assistance for Ukraine of nearly $190 million. That was direct cash. That was the actual amount. That's why they don't talk about it. This is the second version. Let me see. I think the updated version is actually at the top, I want to say. But wide agreement, blah, 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 Shokin, gotta go. Widely regarded as an obstacle to fighting corruption, if not the source of the problem. This is before the phone call. Done and dusted. I'm sick of this shit. It's fucking lazy. And I've already run out of time. And God help us. Can we just do a quick one of Alina Habba? Because we haven't heard from her in a little while. Alina Habba. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks, and also Venmo and other things that sometimes pop up and sometimes don't. I'm working on it. Leave me alone. All right, here we go. Trump lawyer. This is complete injustice. Well, good thing he's got a lawyer that... Oh, shit. At least he's got a top-notch lawyer who... Oh, no. Discusses the bond fine. Yeah.
An attorney for former President Trump. Alina, good to have you with us. Thank you for being here today. Tell me a little bit about...
Also, we really appreciate you filling in at Steak and Shake. Fantastic outfit. That's great.
About where you are in this process, because in terms of the appeals happening or the appeals court deciding, the appellate division deciding that perhaps they're going to make some modifications to this judgment.
Right. Well, our argument in front of the appellate division is that forcing him to sell prized properties such as Trump Tower, iconic properties like 40 Wall Street, to pursue his appeal is
Wait, hold on. Isn't he worth $13 billion? Doesn't he have a lot of shitty other properties he could just, doesn't he have, like, he doesn't have to go straight for Park Place? You can't get rid of the Baltics or whatever in Monopoly, whatever the brown properties are? Can't you get those?
manifest injustice, and it deprives him of that due process that we are all...
No, it doesn't. He had due process, and he fucking lost. You suck. That's his problem. Or maybe it's not a problem.
Entitled to. So imagine you can't reverse selling off Trump Tower on a fire sale at a discounted price. We can't...
Why would you sell it at a discounted price? These are the finest properties in the world. They're fucking fantastic. Okay, they smell a little bit, and they've got bed bugs, and the sewage is rotting underneath them, and they have weird things where if you pick up the phone, you can hear the Russian government clicking in the background. But still, they're really, hey, say what you will about Trump Tower. It may be old and smelly and a fire hazard with bad ventilation, but at least it's ugly.
Fix that if we win on an appeal. So it's
yeah, but
complete injustice. And
well, here's what I would go with, and I don't understand why they wouldn't take it as collateral. Why will none of these companies take Trump's properties as collateral? Is it because if he offered them up, he would have to admit that they're not worth anywhere near that, because they would assess them. They would have somebody go down there and fucking knock on the walls and go, oh, shit. And they would find out Trump Tower's worth like $112 million and not the billion he thinks it is or whatever, or the same with Mar-a-Lago. It don't add up.
Only a handful of sureties, as we stated, are approved by the United States Department of Treasury to even underwrite bonds of this size. So of those, even those very limited handful.
And weren't you the one saying he had plenty of cash like a week and a half ago? Cash, fucking, fuck, how much? $484 million. Fuck, I'd lose more than that running for the bus.
Amounts. They're limited to policies with even single bonds up to maybe 100 million. None of them accept hard assets. They require cash or cash equivalents, such as.
Wait a minute. I thought Greg Kelly told us that Trump had plenty of cash equivalents. Didn't he jump down the fucking cash equivalents tube? Remember that bullshit where he was like, lies. Lies. They were saying cash, he's got no cash equivalents, which is a lot of things. His properties are so great, they're effectively cash equivalents. No, they're not, motherfucker. Listen to her. And by the way, you're welcome for that freeze frame. Sorry.
Marketable securities. The ask of
Sorry. Hold on. Let's see if I can jump back in here. Okay, sorry. Back to seriousness. All right.
line of New York changed forever and made so many jobs, created jobs, taxes.
Wait a minute. She just say change the skyline.
Ruin a person and a family whose private company, not public company.
Right, because if they tried to take it public, they would be laughed off the exchange.
Has made the skyline of New York changed forever. And
well, I will give her, like, not for the better, though.
Made so many jobs, created jobs, taxes to New York. It's a disgrace, Martha. So we're
Somebody's been talking to Eric.
We're waiting on those reasons that we've stated in our appeal.
We are waiting on those reasons that we stated in our appeal. You mean responses?
And many more, but that's just a summary.
And Mandy Moore, she's going to be there? I love her. She was adorable in This Is Us. Heartbreaking.
Of what we're waiting on the appellate division to do.
Alina, do you have any?
I gotta say, though, on This Is Us, I couldn't get over the fact that the dad is Rocky's son. You lost me.
Sense of whether or not the appellate division is sympathetic to this argument? And
from the snickering, I'm going to go with no.
And what their time frame might be to respond to it, because 5 days is not that much time.
Well, she looks calm. This is the resting face you have in between shots. If you feel good about your chances, wouldn't you say?
No, it's not that much time, and we pressed.
No. It is not that much time.
The fact that this is urgent, and
Time stands still. I'm not looking back 'cause my building's disappearing now. Time stands still. I'm broke as a motherfucker. Everyone is laughing now.
will say the appellate division has been great in looking at these things in a timely manner. There were days where we've taken things to the appellate division and waited to be heard, and they heard us.
You had to stand in line with the deli number. Now serving T4. I've got Z. Like, I was going to make a Beetlejuice waiting room reference, but I would save those for Bober.
They definitely, we can tell, have listened to our arguments fairly. You know, don't forget, this case, the judge had a trial where he disregarded the appellate division that shortened the statute of limitations here and said that this case was limited and that he just disregarded it. So that in itself should, you know, to me, just put it.
Also, asshole, if you're making a statute of limitations argument, like, dude, yes. Did I crime? Absolutely. But I ran out the clock. Fuck you.
His nose, this judge put his nose up to the appellate division, disregarded the rule of law, disregarded the higher court, and in that alone.
Well, because it wasn't about a lot of his ruling was about how he could judge the behavior, because he might have limited, and lucky you, the profits made after that were not affected by the statute of limitations, but the behavior predates it by fucking decades. So you were cheating son of a bitch forever, but I can only take the profits from your cheating son of a bitchery after the statute of limitations point, right? That's what he did. But he recognized that Trump was a cheating son of a bitch all this time, and he's like, this is going to be indicative of how past his prologue with this motherfucker, and especially if he gets away with it. So, of course, I'm going to listen to the evidence about the other shit he did. I might not be able to take a piece of those ill-gotten gains because the time has run out, but I can certainly recognize the behavior. That's what she's talking about.
You know, they should take that into account, let alone the other injustices that we saw for those.
The injustices where they wouldn't let us get away with our crime because of the fucking calendar. Isn't justice delayed, justice denied? So other people were denied justice because you delayed it, dumb fuck.
11 weeks in trial.
Alina, I want to play something for you quickly from The View and get a quick thought from you on this, and then I'm going to swing over to Jonathan Turley. So let's play what...
Turley?
How excited the hosts at The View are about all of this. Watch.
Is Letitia James going to go, like, put a chain on Trump Tower?
Nobody wants to
That's what Joe Scarborough says. They're going to padlock.
lend him the money in this country anyway. Who knows what's going to happen with Russia and Saudi Arabia?
I can't wait to see the chains on Trump Tower, actually, on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, what's your response?
They're not really going to do that, are they? Are the View ladies going to be there when it happens? Shit.
Response to the glee around the table on this, Alina?
Obviously, it's indicative of how a lot of New Yorkers, I mean, they live and work in New York, these ladies. They're New Yorkers. And New Yorkers feel more strongly about it than, say, people in the middle of fucking nowhere with a truck covered in Trump flags that don't vote anyways but are nuts.
They're poster women for Trump derangement syndrome.
Just look. I don't understand why people don't like my boss just because he's a second-generation pussy-grabbing rich kid asshole who was sued by the Justice Department on his very first project with his dad for not renting to black people, and has been basically an unrepentant sexual assaulter his entire fucking life, and partied with Jeffrey Epstein for 2 fucking decades plus, and somehow didn't notice the guy was a massive pedophile. And after he knew, and after that guy went to jail, the woman who, like, gathered up local high school girls for that motherfucker, she goes to jail, and Trump's like, I hope she's doing okay. I just worry about her, you know, because if she talks, I'm fucked.
And they should seek help. That's my thoughts on that. I mean, it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fucking, they need to get a little help, okay? Almost got a little bit of, like, her neck on at that point. They need to get some help.
It's pathetic. Why would you want the country to be in demise? People that think like...
With the country? What the fuck are you talking about, the country? Him, motherfucker, him. The grab him by the pussy, do whatever you want. That fucking guy. He can be in demise. Who gives a shit? He's not fucking America, dummy.
This, the hatred, I hope they go to church and pray on that, or whoever they pray to, because...
Well, you know what? I'm sure some of them go to church. Obviously, Joy Behar, she's Jewish, she would go to synagogue, but I think when they do, you know what's great about church in New York and or wherever, even, I guess, they probably are I wouldn't guess that a couple of them actually have a house or a place in Florida. You know what? If they go to church, you know who they're guaranteed they're not going to run into? Any ideas? That one fucking place you're not gonna see the one particular dumb motherfucker? Yeah.
I don't hold hatred like that towards anybody, frankly.
Well, that's sweet. Then I hope you have a heart-to-heart with your boss and tell him to fucking wrap it up.
And I think that people to say disgusting things like that on national television and not care about...
It's not disgusting. I mean, it's insulting. You might feel bad about it, but then they're not talking about chaining up Melania and selling her on like a slave auction or some shit. They're not getting gross about it. They're not hoping he gets Lorena Bobbitt or something awful. It's just chains on the front of a fucking building. It's a fucking building. Jesus Christ. It's bad enough this idiot thinks that that Trump is America. She also thinks he's his properties, that if you kick Trump Tower, doth he not bleed?
The people that work there, not a care about the jobs that they create, is a really sad state of affairs.
The jobs he creates, he doesn't pay.
Is there any effort on the part of your team to secure this money through
No. I mean, through what, weeping?
another country, Saudi Arabia or Russia, as Joy Behar seems to think?
Well, there's rules and regulations that are public. I can't speak about strategy.
The rules and regulations, attorney-client privilege is the rule I'm talking about. But I do have some friends on speed dial in the Caymans.
That require certain things, and we have to
certain things.
Follow those rules. Like I said, this is manifest injustice. It is impossible.
That's not a no. That's not a no at all.
Possibility. I believe they knew that. I think that's why mid-trial, frankly, they changed their ask from $250 million to the ridiculous amount of money that they've asked for. I think.
Hey, asshole. Halfway through that trial, he said he had $400 million. He was like, I got $500 million in cash. And I'm like, okay, I guess if you do, then that's the money you're sitting on you don't fucking need. If you've got all these properties that are so profitable.
Everything is done intentionally. I do not doubt that the witch hunt, that the election interference goal is what was ringing steady and loudly.
Ringing steady and loudly. Thank you, Quasimodo.
And true throughout all these trials, frankly. And we're seeing it. It's the demise of our country, not the demise of Trump. So we'll
Why the fuck? What? Why would it be the demise of our country? What the fuck are you talking about? What do you think? Trump Tower won't sell and be, Jesus Christ. Jared could fucking buy it. He's got more money than Trump does.
Handle it as we always have and keep our heads up. And
Yes, we'll handle it as we always have. Through shell companies and China money.
Keep working hard.
Okay. Keep us posted on the effort. We look forward to speaking with
Yeah. See you in 5 days. Good luck.
with you again. Thank
I'm just saying, don't try to get the money in New York. It's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Because, somebody might come by. Well, it's an awfully nice. Well, I was about to say it's an awfully nice golf course. You got it, but it's kind of shit, actually. It's kind of. Fuck, man. I don't know what we could do to make this place worse. Jesus Christ. I was going to say, it's a nice Mar-a-Lago you got here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it, but I mean, honest to God, the smell is starting to fuck with me. Oh, shit. You know what? We can't loan you the money even then, because I wouldn't want to fucking come back and collect. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that? And scene.
Thank you very much, Alina Habba.
Hey, Sean Hannity.
Hey, Johnny. I got to show you Greg Kelly before we go, because Greg's having a rough one. Let's see. Hold on. There he is. Is it just me, or does Greg look like shit? Did he just is he just crying himself to fucking sleep, ginned up over, right? Over what's happening to Trump? Where's he going to get 400 million? Daddy's not really rich. I can't deal. Oh. Yeah. Is it just me? Seriously, it's like he aged 5 years in a week. Fucking, what was it? 5 days? When's the last time we saw this motherfucker? He looks like shit. All right. So, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up. It's Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide, the only person who plays the entire clip in context, hell or high water. Happy hump day, everybody. God damn. Oh, fuck you. Stop playing this fucking music. Then I get a fucking tag on that. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Hey, it's windy. That's why I'm wearing a hat.
We'll stop it right there. I love those moments. I love
Yeah, I love that. I start to chub, and I'm not even sure why. It's like a joy chub. It's obviously not much of one, but it makes me happy for a couple seconds.
Greenwood, President Trump. It's awesome.
It is awesome. Well, it's not awesome that he has to land at a regional airport in his plane and do the rally outside because no one will. He's going back to cities that he cheated out of money, and they won't let him use the arenas nearby because he didn't pay his fucking security bills and for all the other shit that went on there.
Rally, but the words. I was listening to the song.
I was listening to the song, and I got a cozy feeling. I felt like a rabbit in a warren that was being hugged by Jesus.
A couple of rallies ago, and it hit me. I'm proud to be an American.
It hit you. But really? It took you this fucking long for Lee Greenwood to get you? Motherfucker, I liked this song in the 80s, and Trump had to go and fucking ruin it.
Where at least I know I'm free.
Yeah, at least. You know? Obviously, this does not apply to people who have committed crimes and are not free to go. Under arrest is the opposite of free. Yeah, okay.
Where at least I
Don't go on to the next line for bone spurs, you dumb motherfucker.
know I'm free. Do we know that anymore?
Yeah. I mean, you're not free to commit crimes if that's that's very weird.
Are we in a free country? Does it feel like a free country?
Yes. Yes. I've been to countries that aren't free, and you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You ever been who in this in the chat room, love you guys, thinks Greg has ever been to a country with minders? Because I've been to a couple of them. Anybody else been to a country where they have minders? People that follow you around? Yeah. It's fucked up. How about this? Do it simpler. How many people have been to a country where you have to use a VPN just to see the internet? You think Greg's ever been to one of those fucking countries? Right. Yes, Russia and China specifically. Good Lord. Yes, you're free, you dumb motherfucker. You're apparently free to stay up all night drinking gin fizzes until you fall into your pillow.
I don't know that it does. Was it a free country for that man in Loudoun County who had the temerity to show up at a school board meeting and stick up for his daughter who was assaulted in the girls' room by a transgender boy?
Well, it depends on how he did it. He's got a recourse. The kid was charged with sexual assault. Doesn't matter if you're trans or whatever. If you sexually assault someone, you go to jail. That's what the cops are for. Mr. Back the Blue.
Not a free country. How about the coach for the Raiders? Remember this guy, Gruden? Okay, there was a word. It rhymed with bag. It started with an F. Unfortunately, it was...
Did he go to jail for it? Is he in a gulag, you dumb motherfucker? Or did he lose his job because he used an anti-gay pejorative? Because he fucking should. What in the fuck? Seriously, what are we supposed to take away from this other than the fact that fucking Greg Kelly thinks it's a violation of your free speech that you can't yell the N-word in a restaurant while asking for butter and not get your ass kicked?
Used to describe
by me.
Describe gay people a lot. We don't use...
I'm sorry. There was a...
Started with an F. Unfortunately, it was used to describe gay people.
Unfortunately, it was
people a lot. We don't use it anymore. He used it in an email, a private email, 10 years ago. They found it. He got fired.
Because of other behavior that he was engaged in, and that became evidence that this was a long-running thing, not a slip.
Is that, folks, is that freedom or...
Yes, it is. A private company can fire you for whatever fucking... You embarrass the company, you're going to lose your fucking job. You're not being thrown in jail. You're free. He can go get another job anywhere he wants. He can move wherever he wants. Good Lord.
Is that fear? Fear from
From what? Repercussions? Society? Other people? Yeah, like, what kind of country do you live in that you can't yell racist and anti-gay and misogynistic epithets and have to deal with it? What the fuck?
The totalitarian state, it seems.
What the fuck are you talking? Totalitarian state? What? What? This guy, the state had nothing to do with this at all. The fucking president didn't call and say, fire that guy, you dumbass.
Like we live in, Black Lives Matter. Do you agree with it? Do you possibly have some?
Yes, I agree that Black Lives Matter. I don't like the organization. I think it's full of shit. But the point, the idea, the hashtag even, the principle, of course I do. But that, you know, that's like saying, you like invert that. I'm for the Red Cross. I am not for someone setting fire to a cross in someone's yard. Both are Red Crosses, kinda.
Misgivings with it. All right, maybe something needs to be done about civil rights. Maybe we can have a conversation. This is not right, okay? And maybe in the middle of the hoopla, you decided to say something like, well, Black Lives Matter, but all lives matter too. Check out what happened to the guy who said that. A man who was a sportscaster for the Sacramento Kings. He
lost his job.
Lost his job.
Did he lose his job? With the state?
After he tweeted, all lives matter.
Right, because he lost his job for being an insensitive prick. And I'm going to guess he works around a decent number of black people. And they were like, wait a fucking second.
How do you feel about gay pride? Quite frankly, one's sexuality, I thought it was kind of irrelevant, right?
Well, it was irrelevant when they had to stay in the closet. Right? You didn't want to hear about it. And if you ever heard about it, shit would happen to those people.
I mean, aren't we past this? But it seems to...
No. Why the... Hey, dumbass. You just... Less than 10 years ago, that guy put the F word in a fucking email and then got busted for his behavior about it currently. So no, we're not. You're not.
Define everything. If you're not on board with that, are we in a free country? Are we defined by our appetites? Let's take a look at this.
Defined by our appetites. Thanks, Bill. Hi. Geez, this is son of a bitch. You stumped me. Our appetites? Jesus Christ. That's something I would expect to hear from a vampire with very long fingers. Are we defined by our appetites? Sorry. Human food. Shit.
This young child, is this child free? Is this freedom? I don't think so.
What? Free to what? Know what the letter R is? Jesus Christ. At that age, I got news for you. I subscribe to the Robin Williams idea that Disneyland for a 6-year-old, you know, Mickey Mouse for a 6-year-old, that'd be great. But Mickey Mouse to a 6-year-old is a 6-foot fucking rat.
And you know, it's not just about that child. This all has a chilling effect. You may not...
On what? What do you think? It's a fucking tractor beam that's going to turn her into a drag queen? She's already a girl, dum-dum.
Be a coach.
All right, going further. How do you fucking know that's a girl? Maybe that's a boy and her parents put him in pigtails.
For the Raiders, whatever. But it has a chilling effect. Oh my gosh, if I make a mistake, what's going to happen?
Then you go, I made a mistake, and you're just fine. From John from Las Vegas. Hey, Andrea, have Alan Nudge encourage him to come and sing a song tonight. We need levity. Let me know where, Andrea. I'll see what I can do.
Not freedom. Try wearing a MAGA hat in the wrong neighborhood.
He seems fine. A little misguided, but fine.
Or in the wrong...
Huh? Or, huh? Obviously, he's not in the wrong neighborhood. They're selling Trump memorabilia right behind him. He's at maggot camp.
Wrong city, a blue city. What happens to somebody if they're wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat?
Maybe some conversation. They get pointed at and laughed at and stuff.
Do me a favor, don't try it in a blue city.
Jesus Christ, man. How about this? What do you think it's like wearing a fucking dark Brandon shirt like the one I have in a fucking red city? Are you nuts? You think you're not in danger in a fucking blue city for wearing a maggot hat? People will shit talk you. Here's the other thing. Yeah, color's right. Yeah, do you think anybody wore a red hat in the wrong neighborhood? Uh-huh.
It may not end well.
Or it might. You might, somebody might come up to you and go, like me, and go, "Nice hat, dude. Are you patrolling or prowling, or are you doing outreach?" Because do you explain to me, like, I would engage with somebody like that. I mean, like, if it came up, if we're at a bus stop, like, "So you hate the infrastructure bill, huh?" Just start crossing the street. That's how you do it, by the way. If you see somebody, "Oh, we got another guy who hates the infrastructure bill." Jesus, will you guys just let it go? It passed. Get over it. We got another guy who, doesn't want the border to be tightened up. I don't know why, because Trump needs it to run or something.
We're not free.
I gotta say, it's a little weird, Greg, when there's a black man on camera wearing a maggot hat in that area, and you as a white guy are saying we're not free. It's a little weird. I'm just saying, optically, it's a little fucked. And you seem like a whingy little tit also.
How about this plan to hire how many new IRS agents?
Because they're accountants and they have to go after the fucking super rich people and like drug dealers and money launderers, and especially around crypto, they need new people who understand this stuff, who aren't just like accountants from the fucking 70s that retired and then worked at the IRS as a second job. Look at this IRS, like, you think the IRS originally went to people's houses with that on their fucking thing? And do they even? I mean, IRS, CPA, NBA, this is all fake. IRS special agent, like, see this hat, CPA, NBA, like that's a fake picture, fuckwad. Most of these folks, 80,000 of them are going to be pencil pushers.
87,000? Is that the hallmark of a free society?
Yes.
Let's go back to the inauguration of Joe Biden. He was very proud that day.
As was I. Good job, Joe.
It was creepy and weird. Basically, nobody was allowed to show up. Not that there were throngs.
Jesus Christ, it was COVID, dumb fuck.
Of people who are interested, but after January 6th, the idea of peaceably assembling, they have so stigmatized it. Oh, it could turn into something horrible.
Holy shit. Dude, what is wrong with you? It was 2 weeks later.
Stay home. Don't peaceably assemble.
That's what they said. Yeah, I remember that part of the speech really well. I was like, what a weird thing for him to say. Don't peaceably assemble. I thought that was a weird tack, that he just sort of rammed like in the middle of it. I mean, I feel like that was just an improv, though.
How about this one?
How about this one? How about none of this? What's wrong with you?
James Madison High School, right here in New York City. Been around for over 100 years. You know what they did this year in January?
They changed the name of James Madison to something else?
They sent the students home, and they...
Oh, no, you're right. This is the place where overnight, because people were freezing to death, they moved immigrants inside out of tents for like 8 hours.
They invited illegal immigrants to come in.
No, they didn't. They didn't invite them in, you dumbass. They brought them in there to sleep in the gymnasium because it was freezing outside.
Illegal aliens came in.
Look at them. Oh, they're monsters. Look at that one. Clearly, that's a suicide vest, and this little kid right here is. Look at future bomb makers of America. I'm terrified. Don't bite my finger, you beast.
And took over the school, and it was the city's
for 8 hours.
Plan. New York City. This was their shelter plan for the.
No, it wasn't their plan. They had to come up with a quick plan because the facilities, the tents they were in, were not enough to protect them from the weather.
These people. Interesting that the.
You notice how they're all wearing big fucking coats.
Already got all they needed.
See all the little kids? See that little kid? Look at his fucking face. He's zipped up to here, Greg. What the fuck is wrong with you?
From that school. For instance, take a look at some of the people who went to that high school.
Right. None of whom would mind this. Seriously. Not a one.
Senator Schumer, Senator Sanders.
Yes, this is fucking old lucky area. This is just a gripe fest for him. I don't know what the fuck they're putting together.
There's Judge Judy, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Well, do you think that their parents ever would have allowed those precious students, Chucky Schumer, to be kicked out of school for some illegal
Hey, asshole. About 8 years prior, Jews wouldn't have been allowed there. And you got 3 of them there. Are you out of your fucking mind? What the hell?
Migrant, of course not. It doesn't work that way. But somehow today it does. And look.
No, it doesn't. They're not still there, dipshit. They were there for 8 hours.
Look at these so-called elected leaders. Who are they representing when they take a knee for who the hell knows what?
The lost black lives out of respect for a community that was hurting. I mean, you do realize, Greg, look, I know you're still upset we had a half-black president, but you're just going to have to fucking get over it.
You should talk to Vernon Jones sometime about those kente cloths they're wearing. They have absolutely no clue what they're doing, who they're kneeling to, why they're kneeling, but they're going along with it, and they represent millions and millions of people.
Yes, none of whom had a problem with it. Seriously, especially their voters. I would argue all of their voters were like, okay, they might have thought it was performative. They might have thought it was even a bit much, but they certainly weren't mad about it.
Here's a rule of thumb when it.
Well, let me guess, Greg. In your bloated whiskey stupor, I'm gonna guess is there ever a day you like Nancy Pelosi? Ever? I'm going with no.
It comes to kneeling in a truly free society.
We stand tall, we stand proud, and we only kneel to Almighty God.
Dude doesn't even go to church, stupid. Also, do you think this guy has ever knelt? First of all, if he tried, he couldn't get back up. Secondly, ever.
That's more like it. Hey, if you want.
That's more like it. If you want to kneel, only kneel for God and country. And if you're a gardener, sometimes we kneel when we're gardening. Obviously, when you see Trump, you kneel and bob. Sorry.
Not a kneel. But elected leaders taking a knee for something they have no clue just to appease.
Show respect. Even ham-handed respect is better than none at all.
The woke left that they're terrified of. Is this a free society? If it can happen to him, it can happen to us.
Why would it happen to us? I'm not going to grab some woman by the pussy if she doesn't want me to. And believe me, I check first. As a matter of fact, she's got to earn it. I'm going to run up and rando somebody. I don't have to. Again, if you have to grab them, you're doing something wrong. If you play your cards right and you've got any game at all, it'll land in your hand like a bird.
Look at this fine. What is it up to? $455 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll bring him to his knees.
I can't officially endorse anybody, but I'd kind of like to vote for him.
Why? Wait, are you kidding me? Newsmax has some sort of like, look, we want it to be a mystery. To fuck off. There's not a single person at Newsmax that doesn't vote for Trump. What? What are they saving it for a special day when Newsmax picks him? Our board of our editorial board at Newsmax, which is just Greg's shrink, have agreed that we're all gonna. He's just basically we're gonna vote for Trump no matter what we say.
Maybe he's making it so he can't make it to election day, right? They're trying to throw him in jail. And
why would they? He's got billions of dollars. Isn't he super, super wealthy and got plenty of cash? He said he's got plenty of cash and he's super wealthy. Like $13 billion. Billion.
Maybe taking his money is all a part of a plan so he can't campaign for office. I never thought of it this way, Don.
Why? He didn't use his money in his last campaign. Asshole, you do realize, wait a minute, this might be Greg Kelly waking up to the fact that Trump uses campaign funds to pay his fucking legal bills and always has, and now his legal bills are getting so big, you might notice.
Donald Trump, just a few hours ago.
We have a lot of cash and we have a great company, but they want
not a lot.
to take it away, or at least take the cash element away.
We got a lot of cash, a little less than what they're asking.
Billions of dollars in value, billions of dollars in properties.
Yeah, then I don't know what the fuck you're worrying about. Just fucking go take your sawed off. Take your little penance that you want from me. I don't care.
But they'd like to take the cash away so I can't use it on the campaign.
Yeah, you were going to start doing that any day now.
Isn't that interesting? Never crossed my mind.
That's because you're stupid. Asshole, he ran on using his own money to do it. It never crossed your mind? That's because he didn't do it in 2016, and he didn't do it in 2020.
It's not a free society right now.
Yes, it is.
At least
if you don't believe it's a free society, watch her take a fucking walk. You know what she's free to do? Not show up at events. You know how I know? Because she don't.
I know I'm free. I don't know that anymore.
Certainly not free of the bus. It torments me in the night. Horrible dreams of plastic seats, rumbling along, giving me flat ass, reaching for the string that this is my stop and missing. Oh dear, I am lost. I fear the bus and the kidney.
Oh, the kidney. Oh, it's everywhere. Oh, the kidney. And the bus, and the bus, and the kidney. I don't know.
Donald Trump, one of the greatest leaders this country has seen in centuries. I know.
In centuries? What? And America doesn't even know what it's got. A one-termer.
Not everybody agrees with me, but.
Oh, sure they do. Come on. Yeah, you're selling yourself short. Because you are. Not really selling yourself short. That's not true. You're selling yourself bloat, I think is
at
centuries. Yeah. Yeah, he's a regular James Madison.
At least give him a shot.
Yeah, I would agree. Didn't he already get the shot? Isn't that why some of his supporters hate his guts? Because he keeps pushing the vaccine?
You're trying to lock him up. This is not a free society. And they're.
Well, if it wasn't a free society, we wouldn't have to try to lock him up, dumb fuck. We just would. If we weren't living in a free society, he wouldn't be able to punt his fucking trials past the election.
There are not enough people. People, whether it's ordinary people or people in positions of power, doing
people who need people.
The right thing here.
Funny girl.
Kevin O'Leary, the guy from Shark Tank.
Who's not really a billionaire.
You never know where you're going to find your heroes.
You mean the one guy on there who's not really as rich as he says he is?
He has no real affinity for Donald Trump. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
Wouldn't you want to check before you said he doesn't?
He says Donald Trump is beside the point, actually. When
Well, if the point is a woman who doesn't want to be touched, maybe.
you start throwing around fines like this, his comments today were so important. We have laws. We have property rights. It attracts foreign capital from all around the world. All of that is being shaken to the core here.
Okay, fuckwad. Good. What he's talking about is the amount of money that is being hidden in real estate, and Donald Trump built his fucking branding bullshit on top of that stuff. And I would say good riddance to bad crypto.
This is case setting against the American brand. This is an attack on America.
How? Yeah, like how? Like Enron? Like Bernie Madoff? Dude, Martha Stewart's doing better now.
The whole world is watching, and everybody.
Yeah, but they're like, oh shit. If they bust him, they're going to find out where we've been hiding all of our money and using it to launder the cash that we sell human beings with.
Is waiting for one thing we haven't got yet: adult supervision. Where is it? We need.
Wait a minute. You think Donald Trump's an adult?
Need an adult in the room. This is the United States of America under siege.
Okay, you're a goofy fuck. That's just weird.
An adult in the room. By that, what
Hold on.
what I think he means is,
Yeah, explain it, because most of us are lost.
you know, somebody who doesn't necessarily agree with Trump, or maybe he did, whatever, but
He does.
just go for it.
He does.
We all know that this is.
I'll tell you what it is. Kevin O'Leary is all wrapped up, more than likely, in the same kind of bullshit, fraudulent shenanigans that Trump is, and it's making him sweat. That's what somebody who's doing the same shit Trump is starting to sweat it out. And he's a TV rich dude. I don't know if he's a billionaire like the other ones. The other ones are real billionaires. He's a TV rich guy who's convinced everybody that he's actually richer than he is. And so more than likely, he's tied up in a bunch of this hinky shit, and it's making him nervous.
Wrong. More people should be standing up and saying so. And as a conservative,
I think he's sitting when he said it.
I've done that before myself for people I don't like.
Well, it's only fair. No one likes you, Greg. So what are you going to do? Even if you tell somebody you like them, they run.
For instance, Eric Adams, the liberal mayor of New York City. There's a lot of reasons why I can't stand this guy, and I think he should be driven from office.
I'm going to go with skin color. Yep. That'll be the first one. Pretty sure. Yep, right out of the gate.
But there's been a new allegation that he sexually assaulted a colleague back in 1993 or harassed. It's very unclear. Of
Because you don't bother to look or whatever. You're just like, I saw the graphic. I don't know what's going on.
course, it's unclear. It happened in 1993. It's impossible to defend himself in that kind of case. It's a civil
No, it's not.
case, a lawsuit. He's being sued because he got famous.
He didn't get famous. He became the mayor.
And nobody on the left is sticking up for this guy.
Well, that's because we watch it play out. The weird part isn't that we're not sticking up for him. We're waiting to see how the evidence works out. Why wouldn't we? The weird part is you giving Trump a pass on 27 fucking counts, one that may involve a 13-year-old girl, and the fact that this motherfucker partied with Jeffrey Epstein for over 2 decades.
I will. This is wrong.
Well, you're doing it because you're worried about Trump.
Andrew Cuomo. A million reasons to not like Andrew Cuomo. But he was targeted by Letitia James, accused of sexually harassing 13 women and driven from office. You could have driven him from office for a million reasons, the nursing homes, whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't a reason.
That crazy book deal. But he's
That crazy book deal.
no sexual predator.
How do you know? First of all, motherfucker, you've been accused of it. Your father was the fucking police commissioner, and magically the charges against you fucking walked. In case anybody forgets, you ever wonder why this asshole's got his fucking ass in a bunch over this? Maybe there's a reason why you're sensitive about this shit. You think? After her alleged attack, accuser and Kelly exchanged text messages. According to a source familiar with the investigation, the accuser, who's about 30 and who works at a law firm as a paralegal, told law enforcement officials that she texted Kelly after the incident and in one message asked why he had not called. Investigators are attempting to determine whether the contents of communication between Kelly and the accuser is a date sexual assault, is the idea. Is Kelly aware the New York County District Attorney's Office is conducting an investigation? Ms. Kelly strenuously denies any wrongdoing and is cooperating fully with the District Attorney's investigation. We know the District Attorney's investigation will prove Mr. Kelly's innocent. Also, as far as I know, Greg Kelly has not been charged with anything. I don't know how that is going to turn in. There you go. You wait for the actual issue. By the way, the facts to come out. Kelly, 43, is the co-host of a weekday morning show called Good Day New York. He was previously a White House correspondent for Fox News and the co-host of Fox News' Fox and Friends. Kelly was also a Marine pilot before joining Fox. Accused Kelly of attacking her in Lower Manhattan last October. Deputy Police Commissioner for Public Information Paul Brown said that to avoid any suggestion of conflict of interest, his office was making no calls to detectives or District Attorney Cyrus Vance to establish any details of the investigation. Why would that be? Well, it's because his fucking father was the police commissioner. Sources confirmed the woman was first interviewed by detectives on Wednesday. The case was then passed to the district attorney because of the risk of conflict in investigating a rape allegation against the police commissioner's son. Sources say they met at a South Street seaport where they went for drinks and then went to a her nearby office. Blah, blah, blah. I guess that's where it ends. That's where it dies. Yeah, magically the charges went away while his dad was police commissioner. Curious. And this seems to be something that he sticks with. It's interesting that no matter what, he will defend these guys, even if they, sight unseen. He's assuming they are innocent because of his defensive nature about what he did.
We have to be principled people. This is I got a lot of heat for this, but you have to stick up.
You got a lot of heat for your charges being dropped while your dad was police commissioner?
For the principle. Take a look at this. The New York Times noted that among the only public figures inclined to defend Mr. Cuomo publicly are conservatives.
Former Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, himself a serial sexual assaulter. The Newsmax host Greg Kelly, also a man charged with sexual assault. And John Castum, the colorful supermarket magnate. Who, has a deal? Why, again, what makes him conservative?
Like the former mayor, Rudolph Giuliani. The Newsmax host, Greg Kelly.
Yeah, the guy who's being sued by his former assistant for basically grooming and assaulting her on the regular and treating her like shit and basically for sexual abuse.
And John Catsimatidis, the colorful supermarket magnate. Liberals were quiet. Liberals are quiet today for Eric Adams.
Right, until the case works itself out. And there seemed to be enough in the Cuomo thing that made it more than just concerning. Also, motherfucker, conservatives are pretty fucking quiet about you, asshole. Weird. Yeah, Bill O'Reilly, anybody?
Principles are important because sooner or later they're going to come for your friends. And they're coming for our friends right now.
Oh, I see. So you're defending these guys because eventually they're going to come for your friends. And by your friends, I mean me, Greg Kelly.
John Eastman, what's his mistake? He represented the President of the United States. He had some interesting ideas.
No. It wasn't his ideas. Nobody gets locked up for their fucking ideas. It's what you put into practice. It's coordinating a conspiracy to undermine the counting of electoral votes. That's what.
Charged with crimes? Rudy Giuliani, charged with crimes, fined $150 million, and they...
Right. He defamed, Shay and Ruby Moss. He defamed them so much, their lives are in danger. They get death threats because of what this motherfucker said.
Suspended his law license.
Right, but that was because he was a shit lawyer and tried to practice law in areas where he legally couldn't and really baseline shit. It wasn't even a mystery.
This is not a free country. This is a message. It's not just to these guys. It's to anybody else who's even thinking of getting out of line with the establishment.
No, I mean, I gotta say, I think like Rand Paul, Bernie, the Squad, even members of the everybody but Matt Gaetz and the fucking Freedom Caucus, they're pretty out of line with what would be the uniparty or the deep state, whatever you fucking want to call it. They go off the res all the fucking time, right? Nobody gives a shit. It's the whole fucking literally committing crimes, material offenses.
Don't do it, or we're coming for you.
Yes, don't commit a crime or there will be law stuff.
Rudy Giuliani is still a giant in law. He is not.
No, he's not. He's a giant farter. Jesus Christ. He farted COVID on his co-counsel and she got sick.
Not lost one step.
Oh, you haven't seen his show in a while, have you?
And there are people who know it.
Really? You're not one of them.
He's been a hero for decades, but
no, he made his bones clearing the Italian mob out of New York so the Russians and the Chinese could move in, and he's been benefiting from that exchange ever since. That never occurred to anybody? He's all hooked up with fucking Russians and Chinese business people after the triad and the fucking Russian mob move in, after he helped clear out the Italians because he's Italian.
Right now he's at the top of his game.
I'm sorry. I've never played the game of doddering, creepy old fuck.
But a reminder.
Yes, the top of his game, which is, I think, a block and a half over and 2 stories up from Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
Reminder, we never had a prosecutor like him.
Mafia leaders were rounded up in an overnight sweep, and today, U.S. Attorney Rudolph Giuliani announced the indictments.
This is a great day for law enforcement, but this
is
a bad day, probably the worst, for the Mafia.
I felt terrible. I knew Fat Tony. I liked him a lot.
And tonight, a man identified as Ralph Scopro.
Ralphie Scopro, knew Ralphie well.
By the way, Fear City, the documentary that he's showing a clip from, for the record, puts to bed all this, like, New York is a hellscape. It's never been this bad. Holy shit, it absolutely has. Yes, this was 40 years ago, but it was also, like, during Son of Sam and the fucking mob. I mean, they were fucking gutted out parts of New York City. Jesus Christ. Like, here you go. New York City 70s. Like, yeah, well, just shit. Let's look at it. Here you go. 1970s New York in, the title of this is, Death, Destruction, and Debt. 41 photos of life in 1970s New York. This is just random shit. There you go. There's a bunch of people playing basketball while a building's on fire in the background. Ford to City. Drop dead. Val's Hill veto any bailout. Oh, the Twin Towers. They were still there. Look at this building. Look at this shit. There you go. There's New York. Jesus Christ. Look, looks like Kharkiv. Look at this shit. Cars on fire. Yeah, is it like, look at the outside of this place. Just a fucking bombed out store. A burnout cafe in the Bronx. They're just sitting around playing cards in this gutted fucking, like, fire barrels on the street when it's chilly. Welcome to Fear City. These were all over the fucking place. In the summer of 75, tourists were greeted with the ominous brochure at the airport. It featured 9 survival tips for navigating the city, including not taking the subway and not walking in any part of the city after 6 p.m. Any part of the city after 6 p.m. Let's see. Prostitution became a citywide problem. Problem. In the 1970s. 2,400 arrests for the offense in 1976 alone. In the above photograph, negotiations take place on Bowery. Like this, it was weird. Like, it looked like this guy, like these were his legs. I'm like, he's just wearing Gene Simmons boots. And I'm like, oh, okay. There's just people sleeping on the street. Just look how skinny that dude is. Look at this person. There's not even blankets. This isn't even like tent cities and any of that shit. These are just fucking vagrants laying on the street. The peepo-rama. Yeah, I know it's a peep show, you know, and I'm all for seeing some nakedness and that kind of stuff, but I don't know, the name doesn't really excite me. Well, how about peepo-rama? Yeah? Yeah? Peepo-rama, that sounds exciting. Not just peep show, anybody on peep show. This is peepo-rama. Like Ramalama Ding Dong. That's what you're supposed to think of. Ramalama Ding Dong. Peepa-rama lama ding dong. Huh? Huh? Where you going? It's your breath, bro. All right. Peep show. Look, and I gotta tell you, fucking inflation, man. 8mm art film in color on sale this week, $15. And I mean, amazing. That was the thing that people didn't realize in New York was the art at that time. You didn't have to go to the Met. Yeah, you could just buy an art film for $15, which was like, what, an 8-hour workday's worth of money.
You know, I grew up with it.
Uh-huh. And what else? Capital of it. It's just a bunch. This is dilapidated side streets. These actually look fine. These are just boarded up comparatively. People converse in front of the House of Paradise in Times Square. That would be the strip clubby place. Get out of here, Carl. And then, oh, this looks good. Jesus Christ. This looks like the backlot that they used in Wolfen. Anybody ever see the movie Wolfen? I have a thing. I'll watch anything with Gregory Hines in it. I fucking love that guy. And boo-hoo. Fuck. I hate that he's dead. Amazing. Amazing dude. And an incredible artist on so many fronts. Wolfen is, I mean, it looks like this. Go fucking, tell me New York is the worst it's ever been. Go watch fucking Wolfen. Jesus. Yeah, there you go. New York. Oh, there's a passerby look at a gentleman passed out on the corner of 172nd Street in the Bronx. And there's his crutches. And they're just like, look at this fucking guy. There's the subway. Fucking Warriors come out to play. Well, how come you're smiling? Because I'm having a good time. Can you dig it? Hey. They should have put prostitution was a problem under this picture. Sorry. All right, here's $5. I'm so lonely. Can't believe I'm in New York in 1970. Someday in 2024, it'll all be so much better, and Stumpy the First will be dead. A woman waits for her train. I'm just waiting on a train. See, there's the Warriors, man. Come on. Kids drinking from busted hydrants. That's terrible. It's actually kind of the cutest part of it. There's a bunch of kids watching a couple of dogs fuck. Jesus Christ. That's the one that gets me. This is a bunch of kids taking a picture of this, these two dogs are fucking. Good Lord. It was a hellscape. What do you mean? We used to watch it for entertainment. We used to go watch the dogs fuck. A group of boys play in the hood of a car in the Bronx in the early 1970s. I will say that I would be worried, except this car is not going fucking anywhere. Here's a bunch of pretty good. Group participates in a Central Park quilting bee during the summer of 1973. It's the one safe place. Daylight while the sun was up in Central Park. The rest of the place was a hellscape. People observe a number of signs in East Harlem. Dope is death. Many die every day. Whale fentanyl shows up. A group of girls share their Barbie collections on the stoop of a brownstone townhouse in Harlem. I think the whole thing about that is supposed to be black kids playing with white dolls is the idea. And also the fawns, I guess. Two teenage girls pose for a photograph in Lynch Park, South Williamsburg. Beware, they're not listening. This, of course, is the opening to Zoom. People celebrate 4th of July in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, where it is apparently quite hot. A Puerto Rican wedding takes place. That's how bad New York was. Puerto Rican weddings. You thought the decrepit fall-over buildings and the burning cars and the children watching dogs fucking was terrible. They had Puerto Rican weddings. Dear God. In Harlem, a couple gets married. Look at them. They look lovely. That's a beautiful dress. She looks fantastic, and he looks very happy. I'm very happy for the two of them. I hope it lasted. Zoom was filmed in Brighton, Mass. I did a segment for Zoom when I was a kid. Bed-Stuy resident simply known as Big Joe. I can't imagine why. Poses for Camilo Jose Vergara. This woman takes a breather in East Harlem. This is my breather stool. I'm walking around and sometimes I need to take a breather. Taste of soup. What? Taste of soup. Sir, if you want a different thing, I'll taste the soup. I'm not going to taste the soup, sir. If you want something else, I can get it. But taste the soup. Sir, please. Just if you don't like it or it wasn't what's the problem? Taste the soup. Sir, I'm not going to taste the soup. Just taste the soup. Sir, taste the soup. All right, I'll taste the soup. Where's the spoon? Aha. Aha. That's that downstairs right there. Lower East Side residents. This is New York. Prescriptions. Look at this fucking commie bullshit. Puerto Rican commies upstairs from the drugstore. It's terrible. 1977, New York experienced a 25-hour citywide blackout that led to looting and arson. When all available police were ordered on duty, 40% of the off-duty force refused to show as a result of the escalating animosity between the police union and the city. Gee, it's almost as if we've heard all this shit before. Look at that. Good Lord. This is the kind of shot you see in a movie that starts with clink, 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 clink. You know what I mean? Clink, 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 clink. Reek, reek, reek. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Yeah, so just for Trump, that's the worst. This place was a shithole. Like, motherfucker, you got started when it was a shithole.
This case,
Oh, by the way, one of my favorite movies, many of you will know, is Secret of My Success. It's a Michael J. Fox movie. And it just so happens that the villain in it, sort of secondary villain, is a guy named Donald Davenport, which is my character's name in Lab Rats. And I always like to believe that that rich dude in the movie was actually my character's father, so that my guy is Donald Davenport Jr. Just saying. Anyways, love that movie. But in the very beginning, when he shows up and his job isn't there, and there's like trans people outside the bus station when he arrives, right? And they're like these, like 3 women walking, 2 of them are men, is the idea, because they're transvestites or whatever. They, it's hard to tell because they were extras in the thing, so God knows what their identity actually is. But they're walking by, and his response in the mid-'80s, looks like we're not in Kansas anymore. Is he like, Jesus Christ, this place is covered in F words. I got to get out of here. This is terrible. What an affront to America. I got to panic. Somebody find me Greg Kelly, and he can give me a ride to the airport. Oh, you like the movie Sylvester Stallone and Billy D. Williams and Rutger Hauer? You mean Nighthawks, Easy Network, which I also love. And there's a scene in it when he loses his job and he calls his mother from a payphone, and she's like, it isn't, how's the city? It's not dangerous, is it? And he goes, no, it's just like Kansas, intensified. And then right after he says that, a lady runs out and goes, Policia, out of a little like grocery store or a pharmacy or whatever's on the corner, and 2 guys come out, and one of them's like holding her hostage, and the cops shoot him, and he dies right in front of them, and like they shoot like through the glass, and he's like squatting down in the thing, and he's like, why is it so loud? What's going on? He's like, I'm watching Miami Vice. Oh my God, what happened? They just totaled a Ferrari. It's great. But it's like, again, how many fucking New York movies did we all see growing up that were like, this place is a cesspool?
charges more mafia bosses in one indictment than any ever before.
Rudy.
Thanks, Rudy, for letting the Russians and the Chinese take over.
Legend. And he is still a great lawyer.
No, he's actually terrible at his job.
There were a lot of young...
I'm not kidding. He sucks. He doesn't remember anything. I don't know what the fuck. Either he's drug-addled, or he just didn't bother, or he was always bluffing. Who knows? Oh, Lindsay Wagner, Easy Network. Yes, she was the love interest in Nighthawks. Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman, was Sylvester Stallone's love interest in it. I love it.
U.S. attorney.
She's so beautiful and lovely.
Attorneys who are still bragging about their days as a prosecutor. Here's Rudy back then. That's Michael Chertoff in the middle with the mustache, a guy named Gil Childers on the right, and John Savarese on the left. He took his stint at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and now he's making millions of dollars as a law partner. Hey, it's a free country, but I don't know. I want to see more lawyers who know better to step forward and do the right.
What are you talking about? Rudy went into private practice, you dumb motherfucker. Didn't they all? Well, I mean, Chertoff didn't.
Thing. These guys, they just go.
I think only one of those guys stayed in government work. And also, what fucking kind of conservative are you that you're arguing that these guys should get into should stay in government work?
Go wherever the wind is blowing, because I guess it's good for business, right?
Well, it's not the wind, it's the money, I think.
Here's John Savarese, fast forward, what, 35 years or so, and he's as woke and wrong as they come.
We are living through a moment in our country's history in which the values that have long animated our nation and that have earned our nation respect around the world are in grave peril. The current
2019, zero lies detected.
Administration loudly proclaims, quote, "Our country is full," and that accordingly, our country's borders should be closed to those hoping for a better life.
2019, when the border was, under control.
No, it wasn't. That's why the administration was calling for it to be closed.
We had legal immigration.
Yeah, but we had a lot of illegal immigration too.
It's interesting.
As a matter of fact, but for COVID driving the numbers down, Biden and Trump's numbers would be almost identical for the 4 years, even including the spike and then coming down.
And he talks about the Trump era like it was upside down. Now we know what upside down is. And what's upside down is what's happening to Donald Trump. And he knows it, and they all know it.
Well, I mean, Trump's right side up world used to be a situation, I think, where he got away with everything, and now he's not. So fuck you.
But they hate Trump so much that this is okay. It's not okay. Someday it's going to happen to somebody he likes.
No, it isn't. I guarantee it. It's not going to happen to anybody he likes. And if it does, he'll go, well, I used to like that guy. And then he became a fucking psycho asshole.
Somebody you like, and somebody we like right now, Donald Trump.
I don't like him. I got to say. It's not even, as human to human, I can learn to love the goodness in anyone. I just don't see much of it, and I don't like him. I got to say, Greg, I don't like him. I don't like you. I don't find much to be likable about you. I find you annoying and petulant and sad and weird, and today bloated, oddly enough. I don't know what happened to your head in the last 3 days, but it's like 2 sizes bigger. I don't know if you just discovered you have a shellfish allergy or something, but I don't like it. I don't like your tie. Yeah.
Kevin?
Yeah, nothing. I can't think of anything I like about you, Greg. I mean, I like making fun of you, but that's not the same thing.
O'Leary, that last line, please. We need an adult in the room. This is the United States of America under siege. And let's
Yes, but he seems to think that adult is Vladimir Putin. So.
Name a few more names. And I say this respectfully because there are a lot of people in life who just don't want the headache.
Yeah, they just, all right, the country can fall, but I've got things to do.
Worked hard. They went to the right schools. The establishment wasn't as...
I didn't. He's definitely not talking about me. I did not. I worked hard, but I did not go to, quote, the right schools. I went to very scattered education after high school.
Dysfunctional and weird as it is today. So this is a respectful wake up. A request. Tom Daschle, you were in the United States Senate. Somebody told me recently that you're a common sense guy and not a bad guy. Do you think this is right, what's happening to Donald
Tom Daschle?
Trump? How about you, Ted Olson, veteran of the Reagan administration? I'm told that you're really smart and ethical. Paul.
Yeah, I got news for you, dude. Right about Paul Clement, you start running out of landing strip really fucking fast.
Clement, another top lawyer. Rod Rosenstein, you were there every step of the way. You know about the corruption of the FBI. Alberto Gonzalez.
He was, in theory, the corruption at the FBI.
and Michael Mukasey, superstar attorney general. These gentlemen can do so much. We need adults in the room. It can't just be a handful of cable hosts and Alan Dershowitz, okay?
Yeah, it can't just be only guys who've been charged with sexual assault or were friends with Epstein or both. We need somebody else to join us. Why won't any of these guys hang around me and Alan Dershowitz? What?
We need help. This country
Yes, you do.
needs help.
I mean, it's getting the help.
And by the way, thank you, Jeb Bush. Jeb
Really?
Bush did it. Jeb Bush wrote an op-ed about the injustice that's happening to Donald Trump. Jeb Bush and the Bushes we know don't like Donald Trump. But it seems like Jeb Bush likes America more, loves America more than he hates Donald Trump. And that.
And you know what? If Trump brings him up, he's going to shit on him, even if he wrote that. Because it's not a love letter to fucking... Hold on. Well, let's take a look. I know I'm going late anyways, but I missed you guys on Monday, so fuck it. I'm cool with that. Hold on one second. Jeb Bush op-ed something. Elon Musk. That'll work. Jeb Bush comes to Trump's defense after 355. Well, okay. This damage could cascade, he says. This the former, cascade. They might start finding out about my shit. Right. Get out of here. Came to the defense of former President Trump in a Wall Street Journal op-ed slamming the recent New York civil fraud judge for $354.8 million plus interest. Every American has the right to be critical of Mr. Trump's politics. One of us ran against him in 2016. One of us. I don't know, I ran for president. My dad was president and head of the CIA, and my brother was president. I don't know if he... Elon Musk and Donald Trump cases imperil the rule of law, but equality before the law is precious, and these rulings represent a crisis not only for soundness of our courts, but for the business environment that has allowed the U.S. to prosper. No. Artificial and inflated property values are not prosperity. Bullshit foreign money laundered and hidden in American real estate that nobody actually lives in is not good for the country. Fuck you, Jeb Bush, one more time. Fuck you, Jeb Bush, one more time. Take it on the heel and toe. I'm sick of your bullshit. If these rulings stand, the damage could cascade through the economy, creating fear of arbitrary enforcement against entrepreneurs who seek public office or raise their voices as citizens in a way that politicians dislike. Bullshit. Here's a good idea. Don't sexually assault anyone. Don't start a Jan 6.
That is a beautiful, patriotic thing. Governor Bush, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for no matter how badly Trump treats you, always somehow coming to heel like a complete wuss.
Thank you so much, really.
Yes, thanks for taking the crown of being a complete dweeb away from Ted Cruz for about 10 minutes.
Means a lot. Back to league.
Doesn't mean enough for Trump to take care of him. Of course, yes, thank you, Ugamino. Please clap. Greg, why didn't you give him a please clap? That's rude. That's rude. Come on, give it to him. Sorry.
Greenwood for a moment.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
The second part of that opening verse. What?
Yeah, it comes really, it's great when the dude called people who died in World War II suckers and losers and got out of Vietnam with a fake bone spurs excuse and told his own kids he would disown them if they joined the military.
What does it say there? I'm proud to, and I won't forget the men who died who gave that right to me.
You won't forget to call them suckers and losers.
You know what's happening? The men who died, their traditions that they thought were being handed down, they're being thrown out. Who's heard of duty, honor, country?
All of the ones who actually died, and certainly not Donald Trump. Literally, none of those apply to him.
General MacArthur, etched in the walls of West Point, the motto of West Point, even the Army, I think. You know, they've thrown it out. It doesn't work anymore. They don't want anybody thinking about duty on our country. They're coming up with new weird terms.
Weird?
Woke. Woke is the way, isn't it? And who's to blame? Who?
Oh my God, not gay pilots fighting battles and winning them.
Who is to blame? Well, a lot of people, a lot of forces, but most of all, the generals.
Who are allowing gay people to serve the country that supports them, especially in fights against countries that would throw them off of roofs, you dumb fuck.
Past and current.
I don't know what the fuck that was. That's the end of that clip. That's all of it. This is the, oh my God, there's a gay pride flag in front of a big airplane. These guys are probably, one of them's probably actually gay. Ew.
A lot of people, a lot of forces.
Military diagnosed with a severe case of wokeness. God damn, man. Like, if you're going to land this shit so lamely. And I won't forget the suckers and losers who I blew off right away. And I gladly stand up, but I can't because of my bone spurs.
But most of all, the generals, past and current.
Past and current? That's a long time. I'm surprised you didn't say future. That was it. That's the whole thing. Holy shit. Well, I'm glad we got a chance to visit with Greg Kelly today because he's a mess. And I don't think he's going to recover anytime soon. And the way he was screaming for help, I think this has become a serious problem for him. And I don't at any point see a situation where he gets happier between now and election day, for real. I think he gets more and more nervous as time goes on, especially as Trump's fade gets worse and worse and worse, and he's literally, think of it this way. Greg Kelly played a clip from a Trump rally, and it was the Lee Greenwood song. It wasn't a clip of Trump talking. You see what I'm saying? And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, gave that right to me. And I proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Well, not me, poor people's kids, but I think that was a David Cross joke. Stand up and defend her still today. Well, here's a rifle, motherfucker. Head out. See you there. Meanwhile, Mama, ooh, I think that mustache is too big. Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not, I look like the Three Dog Night version of Freddie Mercury. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, as if nothing really matters. Love you guys. Take care. Oh, clipped, is it? All right, fine. You can clip things on Twitch. You can clip little pieces. Yeah. Hold on. I don't know if do we have a 38 special song? Somebody's got to figure out for me how some of these folks sing songs. Just hold on loosely and don't let it go. If you cling too tightly, you're gonna lose control. All right. Hold on. I have to. Am I one of those people who thinks that that's a 38 special song? Top songs. Yes. No. Okay. I'm good. I was right. That's one of those songs. Yeah. I'm just saying. I like this. I like this. This one because it's got a bit of a it's got a little bit of cowboy to it. Yeah. Chuck Negron is a fine mofo still. Well, good for him. And Taylor was a horrible loss. We missed Taylor. He was a lovely dude. I just want to say. I'm gonna have to end up. How do you get how do you sing along with songs on these sites? Somebody needs to figure this out for me, because I would love to do one of those ones where you sing like along with a karaoke track and do the whole song online. But I'm like, how do you fucking monetize with that? Don't you get shut down? Maybe it's because they don't sound like the singer, and I sound exactly like the singer, and it sets off the RIAA bots that go, oh my God, he's just playing the song like an asshole. Right? If I tried, I would like I'll get, oh, I like Caught Up in You too. I'm looking at 38 special songs. Yeah. No, I could do, obviously we could do some, at some point, dude looks like a lady. Oh, it's just apply to, like, it depends on what kind of lady we're talking about, I suppose, at some point. Back, dude looks like a lady. Cruising to the balmy shore. Her pizza greets crime on the door. I can't do this with the fucking face. It's too weird. She a long lost love at first bite. And maybe it's wrong, but you know it's all right. That's right. Sorry. I'm going to end up doing So Caught Up in You at some point. I think I got to do that for the jam. So that's what we should do is mustache rock. I couldn't grow one in time, but I wouldn't mind doing it. We do some fucking mustache rock. Famous singers that are known for their facial hair, their goatees, their chin scruff, their mustache. We could do some Freddie. We could do some Winger. We could do some fucking 38 special. That's a good idea. Yeah, we could do some, every time that I look in the mirror, all these lines on my face getting clearer. The past is gone. It went by like dust to dawn. Isn't that the way everybody got their dues in life to pay? I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know it's everybody's sin. You got to lose to know how to win. Not bad, not warmed up at all. You're welcome. And I agree about ZZ Top. I saw that going by. As it went by, I think you're absolutely right. Although I would want to do weird songs like Pincushion. I've done Toys in the Attic. I've done a bunch of those songs. I've wanted to do Janie's Got a Gun for a while and whatever. Do some Bret Michaels. Let's see. I never seen you look so good. You never act the way you should. But I like it. And I know you like it too. The way that I want you. I gotta have you. Oh, yes, I do. There you go. That's a good first record. Sure. I could shut the down. And at this point, the show's over and we're just hanging. Yeah. Nazareth Holiday, ZZ Top. Yeah. My favorite ZZ Top song just seems like it isn't a ZZ Top song. Let's see if hold on. I'm gonna do something. Let's see. See, I can't play it or I'll get kicked off. It's so weird. Yeah, no auto tune. The actual notes, raw and unfiltered. What in the world's come all over me? I ain't got a chance of 1 in 3. Ain't got no rap. Ain't got no line, but if you give me just a minute, I'll be feeling fine. Yeah, that's Rough Boy is just it. I just like the atmosphere of it. Always have, I love More Than a Feeling, but since Marianne Williamson came back on the scene, it fucked up the meaning for me. Yeah. I closed my eyes and I slipped away. Yeah. Know what you mean? Yeah. It's so weird. REO, Journey's Cheap. I mean, you can't go wrong. Yeah. I mean, I love all those. So you think you... well, let's see. What would be a good one for them? Well... And I can't fight this feeling anymore. I've forgotten what I started fighting for. Yeah, I mean, that was my song with my first girlfriend in middle school. Lane Staley, yeah. I mean, my favorite, like, there's a bunch of like Lane Staley things that I love to do. Like we do, It Ain't Like That. But Godsmack's one of my favorite, just because I like doing the whole like cannot for the man who wanders, straw that broke your back you're under. Now you know that none are blind to the lie, and you think I don't find what you hide. What in God's name have you done? Sounds like Katharine Hepburn. Yeah, totally. No, he literally sings it like that in Godsmack. Yeah, Lane had an amazing voice. Same singing coach that Jeff Tate from Queensryche had, and Eddie Vedder. Yeah. When I have to mind singing on... By the way, somebody put in there, Max and Jazz, Wednesday, March 20th, tonight, 7 to 10. Moses Hazen plays Gershwin with guest vocalist. Honest to God, I don't know any Gershwin. I would be embarrassed. I don't know any show tunes. I should learn some, because my goal is to do some Broadway at some point. I think I could pull it off. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be fun. Oh, Tate can lay it down. Yeah. We see the lies of those who find the world has passed them by. Too late to save a dream that's growing cold. Yeah. There's a great line. There's a song called Someone Else off of Promised Land that I just love the line of it, which is a man whose life was toil is like a kettle left to boil, and the water left these scars on me. I know now who I am, if only for a while. I recognize the changes. It's so fucking, like, the lines in it are just, it's so well crafted. It's just a piano song. It's the rare, IMI is a great song too. I agree. It's very production heavy though, and hard to play like live as a band. Liza Minnelli does AC/DC's. Yeah. I love Styx too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting on this bar stool talking like a damn fool. Got the 12 o'clock news blues. And I've given up hope for the afternoon soaps and a bottle of cold brew. Is it any wonder I'm not crazy? Is it any wonder I'm sane at all? Yeah, saw you sing with Dennis. Yes, yeah, I love Dennis. He's a sweetheart. He's a handful, but I don't mind. I like people like that. I like people who own their greatness. And you don't, like, one of the points of pride in my life is that I will never be the person people have to hide their light under a bushel for. You know what I mean? You don't have to put yourself down in my presence or act like you didn't work fucking really hard to get where you are. I'm never going to ask anybody to do that. So if somebody's like showing up to play, I'm like, fucking yes. Let's do it. Yeah. How's a nice palate cleanser after Greg? I hope so. I think we're trying to, I'm hypnotizing all of you. How about some ELO? Yeah. Yeah, what was the, hold on. There's a song off the Xanadu soundtrack. Like ELO fans are getting so fucking mad about this. List of songs. It's I Take the Fall. That song, The Fall. And Don't Walk Away. That one. Yeah. And all over the world, everybody's got the word. Yeah, that one. I'm a big fan of the Xanadu soundtrack because I had a huge crush on Olivia Newton-John when I was a kid, and I watched that movie and I was like, she's perfect and lovely. Yep, Budgie. I've been trying to do a Budgie song at the Jam for a while. It's Metallica covered it, and that's how I think everybody there would know it, which is Bread Fan. Yeah, I love Triumph. Yeah. Yeah, the let's see. Let's see. I wanted to find yeah, there you go. It's so weird. Holy smokes, is it like way down in the end? Hold on. Fool for You, I Can Survive, Allied Forces Live, Killing Time, I Live for the Weekend. Croce, well, yeah, indeed. Let's see. That's the serious shit too, because Rick Emmett's fucking singing is just, oh god, it's so goddamn perfect. Hold on, there you go. Yeah, it's the same old story all over again. You turn a lover into just another friend. I wanna love you, I wanna make you mine. Won't you lay it on the line? That requires warm up. That's a pro. Again, an amateur can do anything a pro can do, but the pro can do it again tomorrow. Heavy Pet and Rock Ain't Dead. Oh, Boston Brian. I feel like I should do a Boston song just for Brian, although I don't know that he likes that band. Thanks, Groove Dragon. I would love to do Broadway. I just don't know which one I could stand doing. Yeah, Boston Brian, I'm singing now. Now this happens sometimes after the show, and I just keep rolling because people will jump over for content to like Liberal Dan or something like that, and I'm just hanging out singing lyrics and getting people to try and stump my voice. Grease. I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control. 'Cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. You know, rock and roll and whatnot. Little Shop of Horrors, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing the, you know, the Steve Martin part. That'd be fun. Oh yeah, Two of a Kind, right? I haven't seen that in ages. I've done Round and Round a bunch. Steve Perry, sure. This is I have a bit that I used to do in my act all the time. Ginger Voight can attest to this, where sometimes in the middle of a show, if I'm getting too political or too off the in the reads, one of the ways I bring it back is I'll walk up and I go, okay, right, time for a real show. Let's do a real show now. Time for a real show, real comedy show. Don't worry about it. Just forget what you just heard. Real comedy show. Here we go. Let's go. Here's a real show. Should have been gone, knowing how I made you feel. And it should have been gone after all your words of steel. You ever get a song stuck in your head? You do now. It's a real dick move for an audience, but Al doesn't bother with the bottom of YouTube. He's just, thank you. It's like it's so easy. I was born, 6-gun in my hand, behind a gun. I'll make my final stand. That's why they call me bad company, and I can't deny it. There you go. Amanda's really good. I want to do a metal version of Mandy by Barry Manilow. That's yeah, Old Budgie. Old Budgie, isn't it all old for the most part? I'm not doing any Traveling Wilburys. That's where I draw the line. God damn it. Leave the Steve Perry to you. Okay, sorry, Laney Tang. I beg your pardon. I managed to do some of that stuff. And by the way, messages are coming. Because I'm going to have to, yeah. Long time more than a feeling, yeah. I actually auditioned for a kids television show that never went, but they did a live presentation. I auditioned for the live presentation, which is fucking the ass end of the auditioning and development process, where you had to perform the show almost as a play, and then they were going to sell it to a network. And I performed by playing and singing Long Time. It's been such a long time, I think I should be going, yeah. And time doesn't wait for me. Yeah, I got to warm up for that one too. It keeps on rolling. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Yeah, Barry Manilow. I remember all my life raining down as cold as ice. The shadow of a man, a face through a window, crying in the night. The night goes, yeah, there you go. Goes into morning, just another day. It's a weird transition note. We're about to the point where my girlfriend's going to come down and go, we're going to eat or not? I hear you singing to these people, and what's going on? That's why I love how I'll take a time. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm taking my time. I'm just moving along. Yeah. Neil Diamond. Yeah. What's a good one for him? Sweet Carolina, good times never look so good. I mean, come on. It's pretty rock solid. A modern day warrior, I can't do Getty because it scares that lady's cat. Yeah. Living in the limelight, the universal dream for those who wish to see. Ba, ba, ba. You're a rich girl and you're gone too far, but you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. There you go. April Wine. I don't, yeah. What's the April Wine song? I know it, but I don't know it. It's going to drive me crazy. And, yes. That's your song? Excellent. It's a pretty good diamond. I'm very happy with my because I used to have a bit in my act about his Christmas special, which is the most fucked up thing I'd ever seen during the holidays in my young life, because he's Jewish for one, and he's doing a Christmas special, and he's decided to like rock and roll all the songs. So he's like, Silent Night, lonely night, and the child in the thing in the two, little pum-pum-pum. Come, they told me, pum-pum-pum. It was just ridiculous. Crackling roses under the Christmas tree. Come get your love. I think that's been overplayed at this point. Neil's, he was Strange Brew. Which one, Jeff? I like the theme song to the actual movie. Ride Like the Wind. The most soy macho song ever. I was born the son of a lawless man. Live my life with a gun in my hand. I was right. Do what I was told. Gotta run like the wind before I get old. And I've got such a long way to go. Sorry, can't do that without laughing. Such a long way to go. Bark at the Moon. Hey, yeah, bark at the moon. Yeah. Nights in White Satin's too easy. And American Idiot, I don't know well enough. I'll gin it up just because I don't like the melody doesn't jump right to the top of my head. In the City. I love that song from the Warrior soundtrack. Somewhere out on that horizon, out beyond the neon lights, I know there must be something better. Right. Strange brew, look what's inside of you. That goes right there with, like, that's the chaser for Ooh, That Smell. You should go and, like, yeah, yacht rock. I could do it. I could put out a yacht rock album. Fuck, yeah, why not? Were you going to stop me? Africa by Toto I have issues with because that was, I learned that was the only solo I got in marching band. Yeah. Eminem. Lying beside me here in the dark, feeling your heartbeat in mine. I want you to show me the way every day. Hold the line. Yeah. I'm a big fan of that song as well. We're going to be doing that one at the jam before too. Tom Jones, I can't for legal reasons. Sorry. It's a weird thing. Summer's ex is a Tom Jones impersonator. It gets weird. Do Jiminy Glick singing. All right, now you guys are just getting weird. Sing She Waits. Oh, that's sweet. That's all right, but I'm going to do it with the band soon, so hang out. There we go. Feel like we do. Damn it, Hal, I want to hear Francine. Francine? Lighten up, Francis. Men at Work. Oh, yeah. Let's see, hold on. The lyrics on that are so odd. Hold on. Laying down under Here we go. Traveling in a fried out combi on a hippie trail head full of zombie. I met a strange lady. She made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. And she said, do you come from a land down under, where women glow and men ponder? Could you hear the thunder? Oh yeah, you better run, you better take cover. Hey, Something like that. It's been a while. Who can it be knocking at my door? Go away. Don't come round here no more. Can't you see that it's late at night? I'm very tired and I'm not feeling right. All I want is to be alone. Stay away. Don't you invade my home. Their best song, Overkill, is a great song. Agreed. It's just overkill. Land of the Lost? You mean Land of Confusion? You're impressed now? Oh, thanks, Captain Turp. Spinal Tap. The only song that's like in the realm of actual singing, I think, is Hellhole. They do some serious singing on that song. You could do that way better. All right, Bill. Do I know any Primus? Jerry was a race car driver. Drove so goddamn fast. Never did win no checkered flag, but he never did come in last. Captain Pierce was a strong man. Strong as any man alive. Stuck in his craw, they made him retire at the age of 55. That one? Like that? My name is Mud. Not to be confused with Davidicious Abercrombie, that's long for mud. So I've been told. Told that by this son's a bitch who lies before me, bloated, blue, and cold. We had our words, a common spat, and then I kissed him upside the cranium with this aluminum baseball bat. My name is Mud. Yeah. Can I drum? No. I got a good upstairs game, but I got no like feet coordination. I'm gonna work on it. It's there. Abacab. I mean, that's the order of it. The War Pigs. Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Yeah. Sure. I sang We Built This City for a charity once. For real. And Proud. The song from the Heather Small song from Queer as Folk. Can do film songs. Yes, I can film some songs. Sex farm woman, I wanna mow you down. Sex farm woman. Oh, yeah. Killing lawn. I need an echo. Killing lawn. The wind blows hard against this mountainside. Across the street to my soul. the waistband. Yeah. Need more cowbell? It's true. It is true. I'm so behind the regular Florida Man. Here, that one's big in Japan. It totally is. Absolutely. Carry down the road that I must travel. Carry down the darkness in the night. By the way, Kyrie eleison is like, I want to say it's Gallic for God be with you. Yeah. Bernie Taupin does write great songs. Well, he writes great lyrics. The melody and the piano part is written by Elton. That was their partnership. Yeah. Oh, Cult of Personality. Yeah. Look in my eyes, what do you see? The Cult of Personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the Cult of Personality. Like Joseph Stalin and Gandhi. I'm messing with the lyrics, but just so we can get the shortened version of it. I'm the Cult of Personality. The Cult of Personality. The Cult of Personality. I did Mr. Florida Man, I do live on tours. You got to come see that one. Yeah. It's the circle of life. Yeah. Big cult fan. Love is a badass song. Yeah. I did Firewoman not too long. You can find it from the Ultimate Jam Night. Yeah, I was thinking what I've been missing. I tell you truthfully, well. I'm a fan, but you can't sing. Really? Casey, I can't sing? Okay. It's okay. Your ears are flat. It's fine. I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart. Yeah. King Crimson, Jesus is just all right. Corn. I've done Corn as well at the Jam. Carry a laser down the road. No, it's Kyrie Eleison. It's God Be With You. Let's see. Elton John, yeah, is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. Great call with Corn. Yeah. I can see, I'm going blind. I can see, I'm going blind. I can see, I'm going blind. Right, it's not really that much singing. Goodbye, yellow brick road. I actually, yeah. Well, I need the mustache for that one, Groove Dragon. Sorry, hold on one second. Yeah, here it is. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. Right. No. Beautiful people. The beautiful people. Kyrie Eleison and Mozart's best piece by far. I agree. Fugues, Jump. I do Van Halen all the time. So Faith No More. Sure. Here's one for the Faith No More crowd. This is for Peter. And then I'm going to close out this night. Backside slips into the sofa. My world, my TV, my food. Anybody know that one? Nope. Or how about this? It is the real thing. Yeah. No. Okay. Or it's a midlife crisis. Or yeah. The I know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Bum, 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 bum. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. You see a big stole and I borrowed. Oh, yeah. Ooh. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning, yeah. That's why I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. Ew. There you go. All right, that's it. I gotta go eat something. You guys are gonna make me burn out my voice, and I gotta sing in a little bit, and none of these guys' show's coming up, and then I'm gonna be in big trouble, and the band's gonna be mad at me because we're gonna try and do Dreams, or how do I know when it's love? I can't tell you, but it lasts forever. You know what I mean? And then they're gonna be mad because I wore myself out messing around on a live stream. And I'll do a singing. I should just do a just singing live stream at some point. I'll do it. All right, just at 100,000, it's gonna be all musical. I'm gonna do a musical episode where I have to sing everything I say in different styles, and you guys can pick. There you go. Okay? It's a deal. All right. Love you. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And remember, if you are ever confronted with a decision that you believe is the lesser of two evils, simple. Choose less evil. And yes, I'll do it in a bubble wrap jumpsuit as well. Hey, don't forget to hit that like when you going out the door there. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Just subscribe. God damn it, it don't take nothing. It's free and all that stuff. What I gotta sing? How am I supposed to? Okay, here you go. Let's try it. I spent last night in the arms of a girl from Louisiana. Now I'm out on the highway, my thoughts are still with her. Such a strange combination of a woman and a child. Strange situation, stopping every 20 miles, calling Baton Rouge. All right, that all right? You dolly-loving sons of bitches. I'll jump to the bridge. I don't even care. Operator, don't you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to Baton Rouge. Hurry up, I'm gonna put her on the line. I gotta talk to the girl just one more time. No, don't push the transmitter button. I'm gone. I'm just a hologram.